Sorry.
No. I'm just saying, like, that could be why. Maybe something equalized out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's good to have everybody back. Hopefully we have an interesting crowd in again, like we did last week.
Don't worry, I'm just promoting.
Promoting is always good. Anyway, so last we looked, you guys, that's not paladin, actually, yeah, it's a paladin, isn't he? Had been coerced into helping out a member of the Winter Court hunt down some summer spies, and basically given this shackle on his arm that would supposedly kill him if he switched sides. However, when he finally did run into these summer spy type people, and ended up killing one of them in battle, since they, two of them attacked you, thankfully their leader of this group here saw what was going on with the shackle on Adler's arm and fixed it. Unfortunately, the fix caused some permanent damage to the elf. However, since he's not going to die now, nor is his party's going to die, at least not immediately, that should be worth the price of admission here. So, these guys speak Sylvan. And only a couple of you actually speak Sylvan. Not everybody speaks Sylvan, correct?
I think the only person who does is Raja.
I speak Celestial, Goblin, and Common.
Wait, I thought one or two of you spoke Sylvan.
Mm-mm.
Huh. I guess it was okay. Because I could have sworn you could understand them, and I guess Raja was just translating. Either that or they were speaking, like, okay, so this guy here speaks Sylvan, this guy here speaks Sylvan, Elvish, and I think even Common. So he's basically now talking to you. He's now speaking in Common to you, and is basically saying he will get you guys out of this area of the Domain of Night, Night and Wild, which is the country's name, and get you over to the neighboring country of Eladril. And basically, you'll have to make your way from there to wherever you are planning to get to go. You've basically managed to overhear. Raja has basically translated to the rest of you what she overheard them talking about in Sylvan, which essentially boils down to there were a couple of other people here. They had apparently gotten these indications from just outside, like, some miles away just outside the territory, that a hole from the Shadowfell had apparently opened up. Some people came out. These guys, who are basically on a mission to get this entire area to submit to the current formation of summer, Raja basically has said that she doesn't quite understand what they're talking about there. She can translate it for you, but she doesn't understand what they mean by this. Apparently they're trying to get this area to submit to summer, which she just finds as weird, and apparently thinks that the queen of this land has apparently summoned allies from the Shadowfell, and they were here to try to stop them. However, they apparently, at least one of them, she says, they said there was two of them, which is the footprints you guys have been following, but only one of them seemed to be taking on the offensive and fighting with these guys, and apparently took out a couple of the other scouts that were in this party, and have now escaped. And this guy went over to deal with you and discovered that, no, you're not more Shadowfell people. You are apparently somehow gotten here from the material plane, and therefore not necessarily allies to this land. You don't seem to be her people. And that's what he's basically said. The summer guy there has basically said, since you guys are not tainted by the Shadowfell or anything like that, to indicate that you'd be true allies to Winter, and plus one of you guys was wearing a shackle, proving that you were kind of being coerced into this, that he's just going to help you guys get out of here. So, that's pretty much what's going on here. That's what Raja's translated to you, plus what the dude has told you. Are you accepting his assistance to lead you out of this land?
Yeah.
Turns to Rhiannon. Well,
Say
I
again.
think that's a good idea.
Well, I think that the best idea would to remain neutral, but I think, given our situation, I think this may be better.
Neutrality is kind of out of the question now, as did kind of already technically go against the wind.
Agreed. So make allies. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Pretty much.
And let's go. John
So-
just kind of points in a random direction.
So the elf is kind of the Eldrin kind of moves off to what you associate with being an easternly direction, at least according to the sense that you've got. Since directions are kind of screwed up here in this land, you basically just feel that this is probably east, but doesn't necessarily relate to east in your world. So-
Rhiannon will kind of like, excuse me, madam, sir, person.
The really fiery looking elf or Eldrin rather, looks down towards you. Yes?
So I had a question since, you're just so familiar with this area. We had seen, a mountain over here, and there was, something that was distinguished and kind of white underneath it. Is that anything we need to worry
He
about?
grimaces. That is not a mountain. That is the volcano at the center of this cursed land. And that white thing you speak of is the Queen's palace. It's made of bone.
The Night Queen?
The queen here of Night and Wild.
Ah,
Her palace is made of bone.
okay, yeah. Just wanted to check. Thank you.
He kind of turns around. We'll be getting as far away from that soon enough.
I'm okay with that. Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, as much as I would like to draw that, I'd probably not want to go near it. So let's go away from that.
Away!
Yes. So, you guys walk along, and after what feels like many miles and many hours, mostly according to what your stomach is saying, finally, the sky appears to be lightening in the direction that you're heading. It also starts to feel a bit warmer. No longer cold temperatures that would leave snow on the ground, but a nice kind of spring day is coming towards you. You can even hear the occasional bird. And soon, you start seeing more than just the Christmassy type trees. The nice pine trees that you had been seeing for a while. And now are seeing trees that have nice green, fluffy leaves, kind of more like stately oaks, and other trees that you might not necessarily recognize. And you're starting to see flowers. Purples and pinks and reds. And daylight. You've gone from what appeared to have been a totally nighttime land to a bit of twilight to now looks like a brilliant morning. And it's not simply because the sun is lifting in the sky or anything like that. It feels like the further you get to the east. Sorry, I'm going to say west, not east. My direction sense is totally fried up at the moment. Sorry, you guys have been heading what you would think of as the westerly direction. My bad, not eastern, western. It seems like the further you go west, the more sunlight is pouring in, rather than if you stood still. And finally, you're hearing the sound of a river. There's a bit of a sloshing here and there. The Eldrin man kind of like puts a hand up and says, "Stay back for me for a bit so you do not get identified as enemies. We'll be leaving the lands of Night and Wild behind, and soon to enter into Eladril."
I will let you do the talking.
Alright. So, he leads you down the river a little bit, till finally you spot a bridge that spans it. And at the front of the bridge, facing in the direction of Night and Wild, are what appears to be two bipedal goats. They're dressed in armor and are holding large swords. Oops. Hey, Lyric, get off the mouse, please. Off. I know you're a cuddly little cat, but you have to get off the mouse. You see two of those guys, basically standing at attention at the bridge. They kind of straighten up as they see the summary, fiery-looking dude coming towards them, and start speaking in Sylvan. Raja kind of tilts her head, but kind of shakes her head at the rest of you, saying that it's basically too far for her to hear what their conversation is. And they kind of step aside and to allow you guys to pass as the summer dude comes forward. Alright. Beyond this bridge is Eladril. I imagine if you attempt to come back this way, you will not be prohibited. However, I imagine that the forces of Night and Wild here will not be appreciative of your return. Come, hurry, so that the guards may return to their proper posts.
Okay. I wave at the goat people as I walk past.
I was already typing it.
They eye you suspiciously, but do not wave back. They are proud goat guards, and they protect the bridge. So, as you cross over the bridge, it becomes considerably warmer. Definitely you're leaving the influence of any type of winter court and going directly into summer. Warm breezes waft to you from the west, carrying with it the scent of flowers. You appear to also now be on a proper road. It is made out of white stone. No more squishy marsh or hard-packed dirt to meet your feet. Just proper stone pathways. Goat them into a interaction. So he kind of continues to lead you. There's bright sunlight, and eventually you start passing by fields and what appears to be houses. However, you do not see humans, and you do not see elves. In fact, the primary two types of creatures that you see as you pass by are these beings that look a lot like mice, except they are as tall as halflings. And yeah, and another group that also appears to be farming the land, but they're more like the size of humans. These tall rabbit people. As you can imagine, the rabbit people have a lot of carrot farms. What? No jokes? Oh well. Some of them kind of like stop and watch you as you come by, kind of like staring, because as odd as you might find them, they likely find you quite a bit odd too. At some point, the satyr kind of leaves your company, and the summer dude doesn't even seem to care. the blink dog just kind of like paws around the ground, sniffing, and comes back over to Rhiannon to nose her hand.
She'll scratch him behind the ear.
Eventually, you pass by a few carts, and up ahead, you can see and even smell the scent of a vast body of water. The air is fragrant with that of a salty sea up ahead. Even above your heads, there come the screams of gulls. There is a town here, and the elf dude kind of looks back at you guys and says, "This is Andres, the largest port of Eladril, but it is not the capital. Now that summer is once again in control of the seasonal throne, the port is finally unfrozen, and commerce can get right in this area once more." But here is where we must part. Anyone?
Okie dokie. Thanks for helping us.
Thank you for saving our friend. Though he's a little marred, I feel like you did us a great debt service, and we were in your debt. So thank you.
He nods a bit. As he leaves your company, you kind of notice that there appears to be kind of a festival air, a festival feeling in the air. You see flowers being threaded into garlands. You see people walking back and forth with big boxes of stuff, like people carrying. And you notice that there's more than just the rabbits and the mice that you saw earlier. You see the occasional goat guard hanging around, but you also see... Yes, that's fun. You also see these guys, who are... let's see, what size ranks are these guys? They're a bit bigger than the mice, but not by much. And they appear to be working as shopkeepers and whatnot. You see signs. Well, you can't read them because they appear to be in Sylvan, but you can see the general shape of signs, a bakery here. In fact, we even pick up the scent of bread baking. A general goods store from the look of things. A candle worker's shop, a shoe shop, etc. And you see, some of the frog people just kind of hanging around outside, opening up their shops. And you see the occasional one of these guys wandering around. It's unclear what they are doing, just kind of passing you by in the street. Now, up ahead, not too far from the ocean line, you see a large building that has the unmistakable look of a tavern.
Anybody need a drink?
What a dumb question. Of course.
It was implied for you, William.
Well, I could use something, some water, or...
Before we enter the tavern, did I see anything that resembled a bookstore and or library?
You saw something that you think is probably a bookstore. There's a frogman standing out, or woman for that matter. You can't really tell because these guys are not like some of the anthros that you see, where they put breasts on everything regardless of whether it's a mammal or not. Yeah, that's kind of annoying, but definitely, they you can't really tell gender of the frogs, but it's easier to tell gender of the mammal people. But there's definitely a frog standing outside, just kind of sweeping up.
Cool. I'll keep that in mind for later.
And there are definitely the sign of a book on there, though once again, in a language that you have yet to yet to learn. Now you can hear lots of noise coming in from the tavern, all again primarily in Sylvan. You definitely are getting strange looks, of course, from the people hanging around, as you do not yet see any other elven types, nor humans at all. You guys kind of like stand out like a sore thumb. Even Raja's getting weird looks. She appears to be the only one with scales in the area.
So, quite fascinating.
Now, at this point, you start noticing yet another people hanging around. And they're dressed in a bit weirder clothes.
Big people.
With fierce tusks. And several of them you can see with patches of what look like some kind of fur hanging around their belts or on their shoulders. Almost like war trophies of some kind. It's kind of like a grayish white fur. Though from what species, it's hard to tell. Definitely not, born of the pig.
Yeah.
So, what would you guys like to do?
Should we go in?
Or I'm gonna go get me something to drink. I'll just.
Make sure it doesn't turn you blue.
Oh, that's right. Is he still blue?
I don't know.
Well, did he give you an hour or day amount or not, or is it permanent?
For all I know, you told me you're blue. I don't know if.
All right, then you are permanently blue unless you somehow find a way of getting rid of it.
Okay, I'm blue. That will not send any wrong signals. I'll burst into the tavern and walk up to the bar.
I'm right behind him.
Behind the bar is a rather tall rabbit. Man, he kind of like looks down at you from his height. Long, tall, grayish ears. Kind of like folds his arms over his chest and starts talking to you in Sylvan.
I pull out one of the bottles of booze I got before. I wave it in front of his face, and I put 3 gold coins on the table.
He kind of like puts a hand out and shakes his head and starts saying something. Raja kind of taps William on the shoulder and says, he says he does not accept that bottle in payment for anything. He definitely doesn't have anything blue to sell at this tavern.
I
Rabbits.
want alcohol. Tell him I'm not gonna give him my booze. I'm not willing to sell it. But I have these golden coins that might not mean shit to him, I don't know. And I want some alcohol.
Raja starts speaking in Sylvan towards the barkeep. The barkeep nods, takes a look at the coins, picks one up, bites it, seems to gives you a kind of weird look for a moment, and just pockets it, turns around, starts, pouring something into a bottle, it's not in a bottle, sorry, into a glass, and slides a glass in front of you of a very orangey looking liquid.
Great, now it'll be orange.
Raja kind of like looks at him and says this concoction here is distilled of some kind of fermented carrot.
Sure. Let's try it.
Can you ask him if he's got just water?
Over the pigs kind of like are giving you weird looks. However, this being over here, another picture to show you, kind of moves over the table, starts sniffing down at John. In fact, the rats appear to be about the size of dwarves, so that means he's kind of standing over John, being that John is a halfling.
Scrabbled up onto the stool.
At this point, okay, now he's looking up at you if you're up on the stool, and kind of like says in a weird accent of a common tongue, it's like, you're from very far away, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
And if you're planning on drinking that orangey liquid, please roll me a Constitution check. Oh God!
I am not giving you any of this important for that.
Oh God!
Please turn into a rabbit.
No, Quentin. As far as your body's concerned, that concoction is pure poison.
So I'm drunk.
No, you take 2 points of damage.
Oh. Alright. That isn't too bad.
He's had worse.
Yeah, I've had worse days. I'm a brewer. I made some myself, which, if a drunker makes booze, that probably won't end well.
That's kind of like a meth dealer cooking meth.
That's fair.
Ends in explosions. Anyway, so
Staring at this rat.
yeah, the rat seems to be able to speak common. And has asked it, you guys seem to be from far away.
Yes.
I take it you need work or transportation in this area? Perhaps a translator? The rat kind of eyes the Raja, who appears to be the only one in this group who speaks Sylvan.
Well, I mean, the only thing we're trying to do is get home.
Do you know a way back to the material plane or somebody who could help us?
I do not know how to get to the material plane. The blink dog's now in your control, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
But if you were to take a job that takes you far away, perhaps to a far more populated region, you might be able to find someone who can bring you back to the material plane if that's really where you wish to go.
Oh, thanks for that. And I just turn.
Do you know someone who has a job like that?
Well, I can always ask the captain. She might be interested in a few travelers like yourselves.
That would be most helpful.
Oh, yes. We appreciate it.
Very well. The rat kind of like scurries around some people and heads off.
Raja, can you ask him how much it would be for just a glass of water?
Raja kind of like looks over towards the rabbit and starts chatting. The rabbit like leans the head back and starts laughing a bit, and kind of like looks over. Raja seems to be pointing at John. Raja kind of nods. Sorry, not Raja nods. Sorry, the rabbit nods a bit and just kind of turns around and fills up a mug with something clear and sets it down in front of John. Before kind of like looking back at Raja. Raja looks at John and says, no charge for now.
Okay, I sniff it.
It smells okay.
Or drink it.
Roll me a Constitution check.
Yeah. He's notoriously good for his Constitution saving throws with a +3.
Quentin thought the same thing with his +2, and yet he rolled a nat 1. So.
Oh no, I meant that more sarcastically. He's not. There's a reason he doesn't drink alcohol.
Yeah, it feels a bit weird in your stomach, like maybe it's not at all what you're used to, but at least it didn't make you instantly vomit or anything like that, unlike poor William.
That's good. I mean, It's kind of like drinking tap water in a different area. It's not a good idea.
Yeah. You guys are getting looks from pretty much everybody in this place. Well, some of the groups seem to be, like, holding conversations with each other and only giving you just glances, but, a couple of the singles are kind of looking at you, except for the individual sitting over here, who seems to be shuffling some cards. But this elderly mouse man over here seems to be looking at you. This pig with the fur on its shoulders is gazing at you openly.
I assume the pig right next to me is looking at me.
Yeah, well, yeah, the two pigs at the bar are kind of like both staring at the group of you. In fact, they one of them over here just burst out laughing when William got very sick. But the other one is kind of like looking down at you with a boorish grin, those big tusks just kind of sticking out.
I wave at him.
The grin gets wider, and you can see a couple sharp teeth in there, along with the broadish ones.
I smile back and I turn to Rhiannon. I made a friend.
Friends. Are you sure you know what that means?
Oh, he's smiling.
That old hag was smiling at you too.
Fair.
Actually, I have a question for you, if you don't mind, and I hope you don't take this as, like, I would never steal your research by any means necessary, but do you think I might be able to copy down some of your notes from earlier?
Oh,
I just don't want to
course.
lose any of the information. Thank you. I just want to try to get everything down. If I could just borrow your notes for a bit, that would be great.
Oh, of course.
So,
I copy into a book too.
William is gonna take out this woodcarver's kit and is going to carve one of those rabbit people out of a piece of wood.
One of the what people? I'm sorry.
One of the rabbit people.
Rabbit people. Got it.
I kind of mage hand my book so it's open in front of her.
So I'll grab the book, and then I think I'll just like curl up at this table over here, and I want to try to spend as much time trying to recreate. Just take down certain parts of the notes, and then once I do that, I want to do as much as possible to recreate the drawing that I did of Adler and William and killing the thing, and I want to try to focus on that.
His notes have been basically he's been taking notes pretty much constantly.
Yeah, the three nerds are all gathered around that same table, working on their notes.
He doesn't draw really at all, but he does do like certain sketches like of anything that was important.
Yeah. I want to copy down the notes, and then once I get the notes down, then I want to try to remember the sketch that I did. And that's what I'll do. And it looks like there's like a little like bowl on the table. I have a water skin. Can I pour out some water for the blink dog?
Sure.
I do that.
The big dog settles down and appears to be happily licking up the water.
One sketch of note is seems to be a potato with legs and a lamprey mouth, which is those little things that attack us. But it's very badly drawn.
So I'm literally writing down potato with lamprey mouth.
With a note that says, what were those called? Bugbears seem to be allergic to those.
Adler, while these guys are gathered around the table and William is poisoning himself, what are you doing?
I'm probably just out of my element, just standing there, unsure of what to do. Can't really talk to anyone. Nobody understands. common here, so probably just
Well, there was that one guy that understood Common, and some of them seemed to understand Elvish.
standing there, paying attention to everything.
Alright, give me a perception check then. Alright.
God, I'm perceptive as hell.
Glorious, glorious bastard.
Alright, that's what you saw, for the most part, Adler. At least that's what caught your eye the most. There are other groups that I can describe to you if you like.
Alright.
Gonna walk over this way then.
Figure sitting in the chair stops shuffling cards and sets them down in front of herself and smiles, showing sharp teeth.
Why, hello there, I say in Elven. Hope that he understands Elven.
And responding in Elven, "Hello, Adler."
I don't believe I told you my name. Can you please explain how you know it?
I know you, and I've met several of your brothers. At least, versions of you. Throughout the multiverse.
She's back.
Oh, I just realized what's happening.
Yeah, so did I as soon as Brother Park came up. Oh god. Oh? Really?
Yes. There are many copies of you, some of which have found their way here, into the Feywilds. In fact, the last one that found his way here to the Feywilds found his way into the Shadowfell and died there.
Oh. That's highly disturbing.
Yes. So, how are you enjoying your time in the Feywilds? Hey, Evil.
I love off-character.
You remember the Death House, don't you? From Curse of Strahd? That Adler died in the basement to the shambling mound that you guys didn't find.
Yeah, I lost 2 characters in that death house. I kind of enjoying the Feywild. It, for the most part, a almost fully kind place, except for the winter area. Those guys sucked.
That really depends on who you are. But of course, I can agree with you. Night and Wild is not a place to be trifled with. I'm not a fan of their leadership.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, you can just call me Thorn. I figured that you have a slight problem in this place, considering you don't even speak the language here,
You could say that.
and most of its people, at least here in Eladril, in the country of Eladril, speak Sylvan.
Yes, and we only have one member who speaks Sylvan.
Yes,
There's a problem.
yes, that is a big problem. And of course, you're speaking Elvish. Some of them do speak Elvish too. How many of your companions speak Elvish?
I have actually not tested that. So, I would not fully know. I know at least the one that speaks Sylvan speaks Elven.
So, all of you who speak Elvish, please roll a perception check.
Does that include me?
No, that does not include you.
I'm too busy laughing with John.
Do I need to make a roll to see if I think I know Elvish?
Now, if you can't understand it, your brain is probably sorting it into background noise, except for maybe Adler's voice.
But what if it's like one of those things where like it's like darts, like the more you drink, the better you are at it. So maybe whenever he does drink,
Who's
like,
good at darts after drinking?
I am.
I have to put that to the test at some point.
That
Darts and pool.
we get better, worse at it when I do that.
There's like a sweet spot. Like you can't like there definitely is like a precipice. Like after a few pints, like you're good, and then like if you keep going, then you just fall off the deep end and go into suck.
Nah, that only works for William's fighting ability.
Oh damn.
But John, do you speak Elven?
I do not. I speak common, halfling, celestial, and goblin.
All right. So yeah, nobody's really listening. None of you guys. Well, Rhiannon is too busy with something else, so she's not paying attention to the conversation between Adler and
Well,
Thorn.
I would actually agree.
Thorn just kind of eyes Adler and says, it looks like you're pretty much alone in this.
Guess so.
Perhaps you and your friends would enjoy being able to understand and speak Sylvan.
That would be a huge boon.
Yes, it would. I can provide that for either a fee or a wager.
What type of fee?
What sort of interesting thing do you have? Do you have anything interesting, special, unique?
I have this scabbard that we found.
No, that does not interest me.
Of interest, I guess. Well,
What
that's all I've got.
Would you care to make a wager then?
A wager?
Yes. A wager. A competition. A game. Where the prize is the ability for you and your companions to speak and understand Sylvan.
What would this game be?
Well, I could interest you in a game of cards if you like. I do have some harder challenges if you prefer combat, of course.
Oh I mean, I'm shouldn't be playing cards. And what would I be wagering with? Like, what would you want if you win the wager?
Well, what would you be willing to offer? Let's start with that. Or maybe what wouldn't you be willing to offer? What sort of things would you say are too much?
Uh, what wouldn't I be willing to offer? My signet ring, armor, shield, and sword. About it.
Perhaps you'd be willing to offer your services for a time.
Like,
I could always use a paladin for a while.
alright. Deal.
Alright, so what sort of game shall we play?
Let's just playing cards. Let's have a game of.
Alright.
You can.
She claps her hands together and makes a sharp whistling noise. The whistling noise, for some reason, can only be heard by your group. The other patrons at the bar do not appear to be paying any attention to the sound.
I hear the whistle. I can't look over.
Yeah, look over as well.
You see Adler talking to a strange cat-like creature sitting at the table. You see this cat-like creature lift an arm and wave to all of you, kind of like making a come here gesture.
Oh, look, you made a friend.
I'm gonna go sit at the table, I guess. I'm still working on my arts.
And then she switches over to common. Good. Welcome, all of you. Your friend Adler here has said that he is willing to play a game. A card game. With me. The price if he loses, his service for some time. And if he wins, all of you will suddenly have the ability to speak Sylvan.
This didn't work out well the last time, Adler.
This will be fine.
Question to the DM: is William smart enough to make a smart comment, or is he too drunk? Because I have a smart comment.
He's barely drunk. He had poison, remember?
Wouldn't it be a better idea, instead of learning common, just to get back to the material plane? If she has the power to learn all of us common.
So, yeah.
She tisks. I could, but where's the fun in that? If you really want to play for that sort of thing, for transportation between planes, you would have to be offering me a lot more than what Adler has already offered.
Like,
Testing.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Because I heard Rihanna say like and then nothing.
I didn't want to cut off William. I stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I think we both just talked at the same time. Go ahead, William.
I don't know what I was gonna say, so
Go
forget
on,
it.
Rhiannon.
Okay. Well, what price would that be for?
Well, someone at the table would then have to bet their soul. If they lost, their soul would be forfeit to me.
I don't like making deals with her now anymore.
I highly think my deal was the better one. I'd rather not have someone's soul on the line. My
Sure.
services are much less than a soul.
Agreed.
It'll make it easier to buy booze.
Do you really need a soul to buy booze?
No, speaking Sylvan would make it easier to buy booze.
This is true.
Fair. So what kind of game are we playing?
Well, he wants to play a card game, and she kind of like shows off the various cards in her hand. Would you like to play a card game?
Do we also need to offer up something to get in, or what?
No, he has already made a deal.
Alright.
Okay.
Sure.
I see this. I see you.
Are we gonna play poker? I like poker.
No.
Please don't let this be the deck of many things, because then we're fucked.
No, it's not the deck of many things. I am not playing with that in this game anymore. Like that's the game killers as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You gotta alter it, and then it's usually better.
Alright, let's see what this card game does.
All right. Oops, I forgot to.
We all got a card already. Alright.
And Sunday got a card. Sunday frowns as he pulls out what appears to be a Joker card. Now turn your cards face in front of you. Let's see them.
Do we just pull them out?
Yeah, I think it's just
Kate has to. That's my card.
Oh,
Oop.
what the?
Oops.
I am so confused.
That's my 4 of hearts.
Yeah.
Okay, whoever's 4 parts that was. Oh, there we go.
What about me?
How do you guys call the squares in English? How do you call those?
Diamonds?
Diamonds. Oh. Yeah.
Interesting. She says,
Do I need
looking
to
at
draw
them.
2 more cards? Why do I have 2?
I don't
Yeah,
know why you have 2.
You got lucky.
Okay, I don't know why it's telling me it's stealing cards here. Don't know. Ah!
Why you stealing my cards, woman?
Because I was trying to get them to flip over, and instead it's telling me it's stealing them.
Well, you know.
I don't know.
I got that up.
I don't know how how the card dealing stuff works. I was just going with it. I want to make sure everybody has cards they can look at instead of.
Why do I keep drawing? I'm so confused.
You should click on the cards above your name.
Oh,
then
sorry.
Click and drag.
On the deck.
Yeah.
There we go. Interesting. She looks at the cards and smiles and points at Sunday and snaps her fingers. Sunday vanishes all of a sudden. Well,
I just
he
many more.
did get a Joker, she says, smiling.
Alright.
I feel like we should know more about this game.
This feels like Mao, which is a weird card game that we play here.
She says that the sorry. She says that the object is to have the highest card at any given time. Of course, all suits are related. So she smiles over at John. Just a very simple and very random game. Of course, anybody with a Joker gets to leave.
I want the Joker now.
Is he okay?
Yes, he will be fine.
Insight check.
John does not trust, but John's like, okay.
You understand by that he's at least alive. Whether he will be sane or not is a matter of some concern, but he is alive.
I mean, was he sane when he left?
Technically, yes, at that moment.
Character-wise, yes. Player-wise, probably not.
So the object is that whoever has the highest card and whoever has the same suit gets to keep a card, she says. Well, everyone else has to return their cards to the deck. Whoever has the most cards after the deck is gone wins. Pretty simple, yes?
Okay.
Of course, anybody who gets a joker immediately forfeits in the game.
Oh, alright.
So, if I get a joker, let's say I'm the next place, that means you all win. Now,
It's pretty stacked against you.
of course, if you still manage to play after that, the absolute winner, assuming that it's one of you, will also get a additional prize.
Great, now I've gotten competitive.
She laughs. Let's see.
Seeing this game is based on luck, I can drink as much as I want. And he starts drinking again.
Was he drinking from the blue bottle?
Sure. Why not? I'm already blue. How much worse can it get? Do I
Okay.
need to make it D100?
I'm trying to figure out how to get these cards back. Give me a second. Because I want to recall all the cards except for these two. I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
I don't know.
Oops.
Bye, Goatman.
Question, do they need to go back into the deck or not? Because else you can leave them out of the deck. That way the deck will keep
Yeah,
them smaller,
I'll just stack them over here for now.
which is slightly more interesting from a game design point, because you can sort of card count.
At least the one person that I can have just hit deal all cards to all players instead of the one offline, because the one person who got a joker is the one that's offline. All right, flip the cards.
Ooh, this one is a hard one, because I don't know by which rules we are playing, which means I have an ace, which means either I lose or I win.
It means everyone in your suit wins.
So far, everyone is the same suit.
Guess
Rick,
what? The exact suit.
Rick, you still need to put out your card.
I did.
There it goes.
Oh,
Everyone,
She kind of claps her hands. Everybody wins this round. William?
What a stupid round that was.
Oh my god, even Kate.
Every single one.
did you, Chris? Did you shuffle the deck?
Yes.
oh my god,
Oh
that's
my
amazing.
god.
Hey, you can deal to everyone.
I'm just gonna shuffle it again.
That was amazing. That was perfect.
7, 3, ace, 8.
I was like, yes, I'm gonna win. No, I'm not.
Gonna win.
Ooh.
Oh, saved again.
Oh, I don't win.
Hmm. That looks like John and William win this round.
God damn it, John is winning.
John just turns and goes, Fucking lucky bastard. Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah, I'm just flip over the previous cards so we don't get confused. Oops, sorry.
I'm gonna do this, that way I can I have.
My bad.
So. Oop. We both did it at the same time. It's fine.
My bad.
We're all good. This is interesting. I like it.
Well, at least someone on our side is. Oh, good. Okay, I got
Alright.
it.
Oh
I've got the winning.
no, I lose.
Rick wins, and Kate wins with him.
There you go. Into the pile it goes.
But Kate, you win too.
I had a 6 of hearts. Somebody had an ace of hearts.
Yes, they're both hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever has the same suit also wins.
Oh, okay.
You keep your card.
This is a very interesting game.
It is.
Yep, it's a spur of the moment game too. I just thought it sounded like fun.
Only one person winning and everyone else.
Because it adds both people are playing together and competing at the same time.
I
I
might
hope nobody
win.
has a. Oh, so what happens in this situation?
She thinks for a moment. In this case, only the two kings win. Everyone else loses.
Okay.
I high five Adler.
There you go.
I won't return the high five.
You're gonna leave the drunk hanging. That's not a good idea.
Yes, I will.
I high five John. No, John high five. It's like, huzzah! I have no idea what's going on.
Alright.
Oof. Oof.
I don't get this one.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna win again, because Kate has a queen.
Where's Kate's queen? I think it vanished. Oh, there it is.
No. There it is. Yes!
Well, at least our side is.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. I don't care about the bonus. I just want to make it easier on everyone.
And it,
Flip it over.
Right click it.
Thanks.
Oh, I
Oh. This
Oh, no.
this doesn't bode well.
No, this does not bode well.
I mean, it might depend. Oh no, I probably.
Oh no.
who pulled the Joker?
And that would be me.
I lose.
All right, so Joker, she kind of she kind of makes a snap and you vanish.
Oh no.
Does that mean all her cards are forfeit, I assume?
Yep.
Oh no. It was one about leading.
Hey, I'm still winning.
Nobody cares.
I care about you, William, but I'm wrong.
Nobody cares about you.
Do that, I'm gonna drink again from the blue flask.
Well, you don't have to worry about thinking. This is a simple random game.
Alright, so I'm going to say first person I am dealing to is
I mean, technically, I can hit draw on it.
Yeah, me too.
Now that's what Kate was doing that was causing a problem earlier.
Okay, well, I won.
Thorn smiles over at you, and I win too.
God,
God damn it.
Adler, why? Three people are tied. It's her.
God, I don't want to lose this.
Okay, let's try that. Everybody to draw on the pile.
Draw one card.
Ooh.
Okay, well, didn't want that one.
Nope. Now, speaking of,
Well, now we're losing, yay.
congratulations.
She kind of smiles over at Adler and says, "Don't worry, it'll be fine when you were part of my team. You'll like you'll like traveling around with me for a while." Alright,
Drawing a card.
draw!
Fudge.
Come on! Okay, nothing for me.
William, please do something good.
Please.
Haha!
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm okay with
Never
this.
be so happy for the drunk to do something good.
Hey, I haven't done any
Draw!
this campaign.
Draw one card.
Nope.
Oops, where did my card go? Oh.
It's not gonna be me.
Not gonna be me, that's for sure.
Hopefully
Oh.
she has.
Huh. Weird, the card that I drew vanished.
Oh,
Hey.
Oh!
was
Evil
it
one!
7?
John won!
John is the winner this
Yay.
time.
Oh god.
I'm tied with Adler now. Alright, drawing card.
Okay, why did my card
Oh,
just
we're out of
freeze there?
cards.
Interesting.
We're out
Oh,
of
that's what. Okay.
cards. Oh no.
Oh, oh. What does that mean?
Hold on.
It means me and Thorn are tied, unless you want to reshuffle the deck. But
I'm trying to-
that-
Trying to see if I can shuffle it. Don't know if I can shuffle this back in. Sorry, drag and drop. Not, that's why. Duh. Oh. Okay.
Alright, Chris wins with 40.
Okay.
There it goes. This is 34. Love it.
Let's see if I can just send these all back or something. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's right. I can recall them. Players in hand. There we go. And shuffle.
Alright.
That means that there's Lucas back in play.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Don't worry. It's fine. I'm sure everything's fine.
All right, deal.
Okay, bye.
Oh no.
I was talking about it.
Oh no.
I have a good shot at winning. That's my card.
Oh, sorry.
Don't steal my card.
I was trying to move them over. So who just got zapped away?
Adler.
All right.
Blah.
She yeah, does a finger snap and you vanish.
These fucking jokers are gonna fuck us over. I can feel it.
But who won that round?
I did with 9.
Gotcha.
Yeah. 9.
I have a fair shot.
Oh, do you?
Ah.
Another 9. All right, draw.
Draw one card. Oh, we all win.
Ooh, Thorn looks like she's losing on that one.
Good.
I think
So watch. One of yous are gonna get Joker. Watch.
Probably.
There's still one Joker out there.
yeah.
And I seem to be lagging out.
Hey, I'm gonna win again.
Guess the other one.
Okay, yeah.
Hey.
Green wins.
Just clear that.
All right, you two both won him actually.
Yeah. We're both at 8. Oh, look at that.
Cool. This doesn't seem promising.
Yeah, hold on. I keep having difficulties with the deck.
Yeah. It's a neat thing, but it's like very glitchy.
Yes, it is. It is glitched out for me. Hold on.
I'm just gonna move my cards up a little bit.
Alright. She nods. John wins.
Oh, yeah.
7, 8, 9. Alright. Draw.
Alright. Oh. Come on, John. No.
She laughs.
Well, she's really far behind.
Oh my.
Doing great. At least I'm not pulling a Joker.
Yeah, Drake is the worst thing to pull right now.
Speaking of,
Especially... God.
I got 6.
Don't do that. You're winning. You're winning. You
I know.
get a Joker. We're practically losing.
Haha.
Ooh, I win too.
That you do, she grins.
I'm at 10.
Oh, I have 9. Wait, are we still pulling?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what your card you got out.
Hey, I win. 2.
Yes, you do.
I lose. Alright, draw 1 card.
No!
Fuck.
No!
Oh, no.
No!
I know what that sounds like.
That sounds like the Joker.
She laughs, claps her hands, and suddenly you vanish.
Do you want to know how I got these scars?
Me and her are tied now.
She smiles. Yes.
Oh, please win this last
And there's no more
round.
cards in the deck. All the cards are out there. That means the Jokers will go back in.
Oh no.
John, you better be fucking lucky. You lucky son of a bitch.
Okay, where the hell did the cards go? The cards are still vanished.
I think they went back into the deck.
Let's see here.
Or someone deleted them, which is a big problem.
John, this is
I didn't touch
literally... You're literally the only hope right now. If you get a Joker, then it's over.
She smiles at John.
I smile back.
You win. Nice.
Okay, we've got a 1 point.
Oof.
That leaves gone.
Tied again.
Okay, 1 point lead.
Come on. Damn it. Get him.
Look, the lead doesn't matter anymore. One of them is gonna pull a Joker.
That's
The first one to pull a Joker is gonna lose.
1 point lead.
I'm quickly gonna go grab something to drink while you guys are deciding who wins the card game.
Oh god.
You have a 2 point lead. Good.
Oh god.
I thought I drew a card and it vanished. I hate when that happens.
Oh, she wins that
1
one.
point lead again. At least we're sticking ahead. This is gonna be sad.
Tied again. Yes! I got an ace. She also
What?
wins. Because
Oh.
it's a diamond.
But it's a diamond. I forgot about that. I'm just waiting to see who gets the Joker.
John. Don't.
I've seen
dare
ga-
draw-
I've seen games like this. I'm just trying to remember where exactly.
That better not be it. No, don't. No. No, that better not be it. Joker.
She claps and laughs, and suddenly everyone returns back to where they were, sitting at the table, with John looking dejected. Actually, everybody but Adler.
Yay. Off to serve. Great.
She
Thanks,
tisks.
John. Thanks, John. I blame you for this.
It's your fault for accepting a wager.
At least I'm not dead.
Yeah, you find yourself elsewhere. There are kobolds there. And all is well.
Why do I feel like I know these kobolds? Why do I feel like that my brother knows these kobolds?
Well, actually, it was the one that wasn't a Windstar that knew those kobolds.
Oh yeah, damn it. I can't say that line then.
She smiles at you and kind of waves a hand, and all of a sudden the four of you, the four of you, three of you. Wait,
Where's John?
Oh.
John and a blink dog.
yeah, hold on. I think so. I think they get accidentally deleted with the cards. Hold on a second. Yeah, the four of you reappear. Oh, Raja's missing too. The four of you reappear minus Adler, and she smiles at you, and suddenly you can hear and understand all the conversations around you.
Okay, at least my disappearance wasn't for naught. At least I still got everyone to understand language now.
Yes.
Yay.
Who won?
Give me a second. I have to restart this. I can still hear you guys, but I have to restart. Roll 20 because of all the stupid cards.
I got
Oh.
a Joker.
Oh. Goodbye, Adler.
Yeah. Well, at least I'm not dead. At least it wasn't for the soul.
And unfortunately, luck does not affect cards.
No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, she cracks her knuckles. I really must be going, but it was fun. She takes out a coin from her pocket and flips it into the air. Which of you is going to try to catch it?
Guess John.
Roll dex! Roll dex!
Catch missile? Can I roll the flag missile?
No. John basically somehow jumps up in his chair and grabs the coin from the air before Rhiannon can get it. And before William needs to do anything about it. The coin has what looks like Thorn's picture on one side, or rather the picture of a horned cat on one side.
Huh.
And after you finish catching it, you notice that Thorn is no longer at the table. Nor do you have any idea where she went.
Oh my gosh.
No
you
any
turned
idea
a
where
coin.
Atla went either.
Well, butterscotch.
I told you guys he's gonna be the thorn in our side.
Fair.
Well,
So-
that's problematic.
So, real quick, Rick, do you have a backup character for here, or do you need to make one?
I would need to make one.
Alright. Well, thankfully Adler can come back at some point. Just for now, he is considered missing.
Yep. At least I'm not dead. That's the.
And you're not blue, and you're not blue either. Unlike William over there, who's blue.
Look, if I was green, I would die. If you don't get that reference, learn your song lyrics.
Well,
So, all of you can now add speaking Sylvan to your language list. You gambled, you lost Adler, but you gained a language.
This character sheet wrong.
It's showing up as NPC, isn't it? Hold on, let me fix that.
Yes.
yeah,
There you go.
I figured out how to fix it.
And you should be able to go into... There we go. Character Mancer.
It's very good, character Mancer.
Yeah, especially since I have, I think I have all the compendiums that I have shared with this game, so you should be able to look at things, and if it isn't, I'll go in and fix it as soon as possible.
I already know what character is going to turn up.
I mean, it's easy enough to
And
make
if-
like.
And if you need being that you've seen existing here in the Feywilds, or at least in this corner of the Feywilds that you're now in, and wish to play one of them, I'll tell you what stats to use for that.
Come on, you know me.
You just want to play one of the brothers. I just wanted to say that, to put it out there, if you wish to do with that, I'll tell you what to do.
My backup character is perfect for this universe.
Mine too.
Yeah. I'm
I
just putting...
really, I want to play Changeling and not tell the party. For the whole campaign, that would be so fun. I gotta do that one day.
Changes are fun.
Yeah.
Well, kind of looking. John's looking where Adler was.
Roger kind of looks at the spot too, and lets out alongside. It basically, it sounds like a bit of a sighing noise coming from a lizard person, but then kind of looks at the rest of you and says, "He gave of himself so that the rest of you can be comfortable here, and it is not his life. He will continue on in whatever state he is in."
Ooh, that second one is so tempting, but it has 2 negative stats.
Why don't we reroll 8s?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you can. Except that doesn't work on those character mantra sheets, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Mm.
but that's fine. Oh fudge, what round did he have? Damn it. Time to go through my book. Look for my list of characters.
I'm kind of hoping for Vern because I really like him. But that would be like maybe
I'm
too
mad.
much.
You weren't supposed to say that. You weren't supposed to guess who I was going to goddamn play.
Look, I'm sorry. It's just of a personal opinion. I really like him. Granted, I don't know if Willem will like him.
I am saying him, okay?
And
I'm
before-
mad that you guessed correct.
We've already got both Fawn and Biddy in this campaign. So it's like, yeah, we need one of the other Windstars. But thankfully, Adler didn't die this time. He can come back someday.
Uh-huh. Good thing
Back, oh God.
I chose a backup melee guy because I don't know.
Okay, in terms of classes right now, we have, in terms of PC classes, we have William the Monk, Rhiannon Cleric, Sunday Ranger? Hold on.
It's
I think
just-
fighter. Fighter.
Oh yeah, he's a fighter. I keep thinking he's a ranger, just because Indiana Jones always strikes me as a ranger class.
Ranger.
And of course, John is a wizard. So we already have 2 hitters and a healer.
Yeah, I mean we're fine.
What
Whatever
your party could really use, although it would probably been far more useful over in back in the castle, you don't have a rogue. Of course, you do have a rogue character. You have Biddy, but yeah.
If he's playing Varen, it's another wizard, which is fine.
Yeah, that's true. Another one to join the nerd pack.
Yeah, that's
Don't
coming.
worry. My
Oh,
backup
no.
character is totally another caster.
Oh,
Poor John.
I have a backup character which can take over like the melee meatiest tank ever. That's what character he is. He's just one big pile of meat. So if William dies, don't worry, you got a meat pile coming up.
Yeah,
Because
my,
William is still
my
kind of
backup
squishy.
character is MVP.
This is more of if John's luck ever fucking runs out in combat, which it hasn't for some goddamn reason.
I mean, maybe they just don't try because they know you're just too lucky.
John just somehow survives, and I don't know how. He's clumsy and oblivious, and I love him. It's amazing.
So, it's about this time that the rat person returns, along with a words stop failing on me. A garishly dressed fox woman. And I have a handout for her as well.
Yar har fiddly. Which one? Because a pirate is free.
She comes in. It's like, and then the rat guy kind of points you out to her and says, "These are the material planers I was telling you about, Captain." And she kind of inclines her head and she says in common, it's like, possible additions to my crew? She looks you over. He and he look like they could handle a thing or two. She looks at Sunday and looks at William in turn. And then looks at John and Rhiannon. Perhaps not so much those two.
I think I don't look as capable as I look drunk at the moment.
You don't know what she's referring to as capable here.
That's true.
I mean, I have a lot of books.
Oh, really?
Two, to be precise. But a lot of notes in one.
Books are
Mainly
useful.
about this place right now.
It's always useful to have people that can take care of the logs and keep track of treasures, especially now that the bay has unfrozen.
I can cook as well.
A chef is always useful to have around. I think because our current chef is going to be staying here for a while, she has missed her husband. All during the reign of winter in this realm did we have to stay away from this port. It was completely frozen over. But now that summer has once again returned to the land, we have come back. And of course not all of our crew has wanted to be away from their homes.
Would you be able to take us in a direction that might lead us to be able to get back to the material plane?
Well, I have never been to the material plane, but I imagine that in a larger city you might be able to find such a thing. Transportation.
I like this so far.
It's free travel. Doesn't sound too bad.
Yes. So, what are your names?
Sorry.
No, go.
I cracked my knuckles. I'm John Sprinklebottom. Hold
John.
on, hand.
I am Malazoo. She reaches down with a furry hand and shakes your hand.
His sleeve kind of like falls back because he's reaching upwards.
And you are quite a small thing. The size of a mouse. Not that big at all.
Well, these mice.
I'm Rhiannon.
Hello. So,
I'm William.
William. An interesting name. And this last one introduced himself as Sunday, and she kind of smiles. It's like, you are quite rugged. And he appears to be nonplussed about this and is working on his notes as well. And she smiles and just claps her hands together. Well, we will not be leaving for several days. We will be here to enjoy the festival. But it would be nice to have you crew for at least one voyage. Taking between ports. There's a lot of work to be done. Cooking, as it is. Maintaining logs and records. She looks over at John. And I imagine that these two, William and Sunday, can scrub the decks and hang the... She says some other nautical terms in there that I don't know offhand.
Yeah. Don't worry. I don't think any of us do.
I can also fix your sails.
Excellent. Well, I will see you around for the next few days and expect you at the ship when we are ready to depart. Do not worry, I will make sure that somebody is sent to find you. I won't just expect you to be there without telling you when.
That's good. Because I have no idea where you are. Okay.
Well, I imagine over the next few days you will learn a few things. Now, enjoy what delights Andrus can bring you.
One quick little question. What does your ship look like? So we know what ship to enter?
And she kind of describes what pretty much any ship would look like. It is the primary ship in the bay at the moment. You'll be able to tell it by my crew. She kind of gestures around towards the pigs. The other ships do not have crew of such peoples.
Alright.
Oh, I mean, like, ones I made friends with. That's good.
She grins down at John again and departs with her rat.
I'm sure Adler would have liked her.
William is gonna try out his new skill and is gonna talk to Master Shifu.
What? Who are you going to talk to?
The old mouse at the bar.
Master Shifu? From
Uncle
Ninja Turtle?
Panda.
Oh, is that it? Is that a specific picture?
Oh yeah, that's Copy Pan. No, yeah, it looks kind of samey though.
Because the one from Kung Fu Panda was not a mouse. That's a.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, it's not even a rodent. I believe it was a small primate, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was a red panda.
yeah. I was trying to tell the one from.
That's a tiny red panda. If that's the case, you're thinking of Master Splinter, and he's a rat, not a mouse.
I mean, he has. Does he have a random master? He has
He's-
a fleshy tail.
He's
Which,
this guy's got big ears. It's kind of mousy.
sure.
But,
Hi.
Oh, Tobias is wandered in. Hey, Tobias. Everybody now speaks Sylvan, or they can speak Sylvan. They've been given the Sylvan language. Unfortunately, Adler had to pay with his service for an unknown amount of time, so he's stuck rolling up a new character.
That amount of time I would have to serve. Oh yay.
Remember, always clear the details before taking a wager.
Well,
Also,
Adler's not the kind to gamble. Usually.
also always have a backup character ready.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, I do have backup characters. They're just not.
They're in water deep.
Ooh, free language. Thanks, Andrew.
Oh, we were playing
I'm
this.
going to be joining pirates.
Yes. Well, we came up with a new card game, and where the jokers in the deck equal to you get banished, and basically it went down to, instead of people winning, we kept dealing around until all the jokers vanished everybody. It came down to luck. Oh, no more shipping. That has so many implications there, Hunter. Anyway, so William has wandered over to the mouse, who it looks like an old sort of mouse. He's like very gray, has like gray droopy whiskers, large ears. Seems to have a longish tail. He kind of like looks up at you, and of course these guys are all speaking Sylvan, so unless I say otherwise, everybody's talking in Sylvan. Says, "Can I help you, stranger?"
Yeah, I'm kind of new to this area, and I was wondering if you could help me find out which were the good rings to buy and which were the bad ones to buy.
Well, I can hardly advise creatures such as yourself. What is good for me might be very bad for you, and what is bad for me might be good for you. I myself prefer a nice glass of turnip juice.
Alright. Would you like to try some of our booze?
He kind of looks shocked, or at least that's what you think or at least that's what his eyes seem like from a human's perspective. That does not sound very wise to me. The pig looks down at the mouse and looks over at William and grins. You're the one who got sick off the carrot juice. Is the weird paley over there? The weird bluey guy. Yeah, it's hard to forget the one who got sick off the carrot juice. And he seems to be guffawing.
I'm also blue.
Yeah, that's what I said. The creepy blue guy. He's making this kind of like piggy snort squeal sound that it looks like it's probably laughter, or at least as far as a pig is concerned.
Are you interested in some of our common normal plain booze?
Yeah. Let's see, I could probably take you down in a drinking contest, Blue Man.
I'm gonna give him some of my blue liquor, and hope he turns blue as well.
The pig kind of grimaces. Ugh. What, have you been trading with winterfolk?
I have been drinking everywhere. So, not specifically, no.
This stuff is the stuff we use to clean the floors. To clean the decks of the ship.
Then you're pretty wasteful, because it's pretty okay.
That's pretty okay.
It's why you turned blue, isn't it?
It's fine. I mean, I'm not dying. At least I don't think so. Maybe I am.
Yeah, you look like you belong in the winter.
Nah, I'm just blue. That's kind of colorist.
Blue,
Okay.
cold.
I mean, not really. Blue can be ocean or sky, or I don't
You
know.
look like that cold shade of blue.
You're pink. That's not a very manly color.
What does manly have to do with pink?
A lot. Where I'm from.
You're from some weird place, right? I keep hearing. Material plane, was it? They got some weird place the material plane is.
Yeah, that sounds very weird coming from you. No offense.
We should wrestle. Arm wrestle. Right, Al? Kind of looks down at the mouse man. The mouse man kind of nods.
Wait, I'm gonna arm wrestle the pig now.
The pig kind of like slaps his biceps, which are huge and boulderish, on his arms. Yeah, come here, blue guy. Let's arm wrestle.
Sure. I actually have very poor strength, so can I use Dex? Because I'm a monk. Can I
Yes.
use pressure points in his arm?
Yes, since you are a monk, you may use Dex.
Acrobatics. Please win this.
You get a D4 as well if you want it.
Ooh! So he kind of like puts his big sweaty hand in yours, and like grins, putting his elbow on the table, and just starts kind of like like the big heavy set guy that you see in any bar with the huge bulging muscles up against the small fighter guy that looks like the fighter the small guy is gonna lose his arm or something like that, but suddenly the small guy pins the hand of the big beefy dude. Of course, in this case, he's a pig, but everybody's seen clips of that sort of stuff. He's like very surprised, and the mouse starts chuckling. Even the rabbit and the fox that are still sitting in the bar start clapping.
That looks like fun.
I should have made a bet.
Well, the pig kind of shakes his hand off, getting a bit of sweat on you. Maybe you should have.
I looked around. Should I try?
Yes.
I like she says yes.
You know, if you can't beat me, I'm sure you can't beat my little friend. And I point towards John.
I wave.
The really weird looking guy.
Yeah. How about this? If he defeats you, you're gonna scrub the deck instead of me.
Alright. He kind of looks down at John.
I wave. Still waving, smiling. Hello.
Alright, we're gonna do this, small one. He puts his big beefy hand out, the one that could probably swallow John's face.
I put my hand, little tiny hand.
Don't forget Portland.
Yep.
Puts his elbow down, and it's kind of like, a huge adult with a tiny child trying to arm wrestle.
Oh goody. This will be fun.
Ooh! Evidently, when William, did that earlier, William caused a problem in the pig's arm. For some reason, as the pig is trying to even move the hand, the pig kind of gets this weird paleness come over his face, and more sweat drips down from his brow, and it looks like he's in a lot of pain. Evidently, one of his tendons has snapped, which allows John to easily push the arm over in there, as the pig just kind of pales and even further, more dressed, and goes, "What?" And he's just got his wide eyes and buckets of sweat pouring down, and the other pig comes over and looks at this and starts breaking out in laughter as the mouse just kind of shakes his head. Once again, the fox and the rabbit just kind of clap.
That was fun.
The pig man kind of sinks to his knees and kind of starts whimpering, holding his arm, which doesn't seem to be moving properly.
I'll put my hand on the shoulder and say, have fun scrubbing the deck, my friend.
The rabbit the tall rabbit bartender is bawling with laughter back there. And you hear him like just pounding his fist on the bar and trying to control himself. It's like a round for the brave ones. He shouts, setting out two glasses of what looks like a purplish liquid.
Hey, let's drink some purple things. Why not?
Is this alcohol?
Yes.
I thought you guys didn't serve purple shit.
I never said that. The bartender said, "We just don't serve the blue the blue ice stuff coming from the winter realms." And he kind of thinks for a moment and goes, you could speak now. Wow. Don't need a translator anymore.
I'm a quick learner.
Good.
The more I drink, the more I know.
So Viren can walk in at any time he wants, with whatever story he wants of how he came to be in the Feywilds and how long he's been here.
He's been here for a while.
Alright.
He knows the now.
Alright, so 2 glasses, size appropriate for William and John, are now sitting on the bar of this purplish liquid.
Apparently I'm drinking too, because John decided to not drink it.
John does not drink alcohol.
William, roll a Constitution saving throw if you're going to drink.
I'm drinking both of them, because that's how William rolls.
It tastes a bit like turnip as it passes through your lips. It's actually kind of satisfying and refreshing, assuming you like turnips. And you feel a pleasant buzz settle across from your middle out to your limbs.
Ooh, I like it. He does the second class as well. Why not? It's good, it's good.
The rabbit bartender claps his hands. Ah! Excellent! So, you folks are from the material plane, did I hear that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Never seen material plane folk in here before. So,
Never seen people
come to
from Feywild.
think of it, there's supposed to be someone from the material plane hanging out at the outskirts of town. They came in when the summer rolled through. But they haven't come to the bar yet, which is weird.
As you just saw, we people from the material plane are super strong. We may not look it, but we are all on the same power level.
That is amazing. Hey, perhaps we were willing to take care of a few problems around town then, help some people rebuild after winter. I mean, the roof on this place could use some re-shingling. You guys are strong. You're willing to take care of some of that?
If we have time, sure.
Sure.
Excellent. I'd be willing to let you take a room for payment in turn.
That sounds great, because we don't have any money from this plane.
Well, you do have those weird goldish coins. Could do something with them, I suppose, but yeah, it's not real money.
Yeah.
Well, I would suggest, now that you can somehow speak our language, of heading into a shop maybe and trying to sell some of your trinkets. You might be able to get some local currency.
Sure.
I look at my backpack.
Yeah.
I have literally nothing of use that I would want to sell.
This might be a very weird question, but how many... Do you know what pillows are?
Pillows? Of course. There's one on every bed.
Oh. Because I have this really nice one with a very high thread count that I found somewhere in a dungeon.
Well,
That's this nice golden trim.
you might be able to sell it.
Right. I guess we're gonna have to take a look at the route then.
So we go shopping then, I guess, and see if we can get some local currency.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to sell. So
Me either, but I don't want him to go alone.
Maybe we can trade some. How much do you think those coins would be worth in your currency?
The rabbit shrugs. Well, I run an inn, a tavern. I don't really know much about currency. You might want to talk to the bankers or something. They'd know.
Maybe go to the banker.
All right.
Let's go to the banker then. That also seems like a place where Baron would be.
You don't know anything about Varen. You've never heard the name Varen, Will.
Out of character.
Out of character. It's like,
You were still talking in character.
And John just does not want Willie walking alone, for some reason.
I don't you trust me, man. I haven't ever let you guys astray.
So,
The only one is probably.
Rhiannon remembers a time where you told me to go look at a book. Yeah, you led me astray once, sir.
I don't remember.
That is not an excuse.
just feigns ignorance. It's like, nope, didn't do it.
Well, it is an excuse for not remembering that he didn't. And then you reminded him. So now he knows.
So, since we know where at least two of the characters are going to be going, what about you then, Rhiannon?
I mean, I'll go to the bank. I mean,
Alright.
I've got nothing. I have no money to go to the bookstore, so I'll go to the bank.
Sunday and Raja will follow you.
To the bank.
And as you exit the tavern, you see more people looking like they're preparing for a festival. In fact, now that you understand people walking around, you hear people very excited talking about how much they love that summer has returned. That, from what you can gather from the gist of it, they're talking it's been winter for years here.
Oof.
From their concept of time. Which is, of course, very different from your concept of time.
Still. Oof. Not good.
So, yeah.
I as a player, I
Yeah.
don't like
So yeah, it's now apparently summer. It's nice and warm out. There are fragrant flowers. There are a lot of rabbits and mice and frogs walking by, with the occasional fox and goat. What you don't see too many of is you don't see too many of the pigs, and you don't see any other rats other than the one you'd met. And so far as you can tell, you are the only hominoids around here. That Eladrin guy has gone off somewhere. Possibly left the town already. Double checking my Pinterest thing to see if I can find the proper picture I wanted to show of since you're going to the bank. So I saw some really good pictures earlier. Ooh. Yeah, like I said, this is what Pinterest comes in handy. It's like, you want to find a fox pirate? Type in fox pirate. Anthro.
Yeah, you get a lot of good images from a lot of things.
Yeah.
I find 90% of my creatures, 'cause I just look up images. It's like
Yeah.
a shadowy wraith thing. That'll be fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes things are just weirdly labeled, and therefore, no matter what you put in there, it shows just pictures that don't look anything like what you're looking for.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I searched pirate man gets ninja girl. What?
Mm-hmm.
Come again?
Yeah, I saw some bank creature pictures the other day, and now I'm not finding any. So I'm guessing I'm not. It might not have been listed as a banker. It might have just been listed under something else. I just didn't. I don't think I added it to my pins. Let me double check. Maybe I did add it to my pins. I'm just forgetting. Nah, let's just go. I'll just go with it. No pictures. Alright, so you walk through the streets, and eventually you come to a large, kind of columned building made out of stone, similar to the cobble streets. And here you kind of get the impression that this is most definitely a bank. You see several mice in what look like some kind of suits hanging around outside talking about business, and you see people just kind of going in. You see a couple of other mice kind of not dressed so well. They look like they're maybe farmers who look kind of downcast, and the occasional rabbit. You get odd looks as you walk anywhere nearby, but most of the people are just kind of like going back into their own conversations. And you get that people were hit with hard times for a long time now. Certain things had been put on hold during the winter just so that people could survive. But now that summer's here, the bank managers aren't letting anybody get any excuses as to why they can't pay their loans for their farm and whatnot, saying, "Hey, your farm is growing now. You should be able to sell stuff. Pay us." That sort of thing is what you're overhearing. Just general business mixed in with some stuff that you are just learning about in this land. So what would you like to do?
Do we see a teller or somebody inside the building?
You see several, although most of them appear to have long lines of people heading to them. There's even, a couple of the pig pirates who are kind of get in the lines, pushing a few other people out of the way. And you see a fox here or there. You see some of the goat guards kind of standing at attention, watching it, kind of making sure that the pigs don't try anything. And you see a very well-dressed frog who is standing over in what appears to be an office doorway, kind of holding his hands on his good suit and is kind of watching the scene. Or her suit, for all you know, because, again, frogs don't have obvious... you can't easily tell a frog's gender just by looking at it the way you can with the mammals.
Yeah.
I'll kind of go up to the frog and be, "Excuse me, good madam or good sir, would we be able to maybe exchange material plane coin here for some local currency?"
At first the frog looked a little bit hassled when you came over, but then he's kind of looking you over and widening a bit of eyes and going, "Oh, travelers! Fascinating! Come, step into my office. We can discuss business." He ushers you into, an office with table, with a nice desk made out of wood, a few chairs in front of it, and a couch. And he kind of sits himself down. The chairs look like they'd easily sit any type of creature that's sitting into it. They have a space in the back for if the creature has a tail, that sort of thing. But the chair behind his desk clearly is designed to fit frog anatomy. The size and shape. Make yourself comfortable. He shows off a webbed hand and just kind of flips over some paper and starts writing. "Now, what kind of currency do you have from this material plane of yours?"
"Well, gold."
"Gold is always good. Because gold, if nothing else, can be melted down and reprinted."
And she puts 16 gold on, the desk.
Ooh. He pulls out what appears to be a set of scales. He gathers up the coins, puts them on the one slot, takes a few weights, holds them in his hand, kind of seems to be thinking for a moment, and then one by one puts different sized weights on the other side until finally the two sides are balanced, and he starts nodding. Ah, that's a nice weight of gold there. So, you're new to this land?
Yes, we accidentally came here, or actually escaped to here. We were getting chased from a different plane and went here to seek solace, and now we're trying to get back to the material plane. Figure some local currency was the best way to start.
You didn't bring such trouble into our humble plane now, did you?
No.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Excellent indeed. He pulls out a few kind of gold with overlaid, with bits of green overlay. It's kind of shaped a bit like a leaf. And says, "Well, I can give you this." And he produces 15. You gave him 15 coins, yes?
16.
16. So he gives you 15 coins in return. It's just a bit of exchange. It's the coin of the realm.
Thank you very much, and I think some of my travel compatriots would also like to do the same, if you would let them.
Let's see. Look at my coins.
In your in your inventory, you could basically write it down as gold of summer gold, or Feywild summer gold.
I'll put 9 down.
And
I'm done.
Rick, the answer is yes.
How much did I get for 9?
Basically, the banker is okay. Out of character, you should know that the banker is basically taking 1 gold for every transaction, pretty much.
Sweet.
But he's giving you back gold that you can pay for normal amounts here in the Feywild, or at least in summer.
So I pay 9, I get 8 back.
Yes,
Alright, so I get 9.
but it'd be listed specifically as summer gold.
Summer.
Because again, the Winter Kingdom wouldn't necessarily take that as currency, and once you go to another realm, another plane, they won't necessarily take that in currency, and of course, not every kingdom that's aligned with either of the Summer Kingdom won't necessarily take that either. But you know how it goes. Alrighty then. So the bank manager seems quite happy with all this transaction, taking up your gold and looking it over. Seems quite pleased with foreign gold, and is quite pleased to have given you guys some money. Sorry, voice. So now that you've gotten coin of the realm, and met some people in here in this bank, what would you like to do?
She'll lean over to everybody and be like, "Do we want to make some coin here? We've got a couple days, or do we just want to go shopping?"
I mean, we can see what we can get because we don't have a whole lot, but
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot either. William?
I don't have too much.
we can always
So-
check the prices.
She'll lean over to the bank manager before we leave. Do you know of anybody looking for any work around here in the area? We're looking to make some coin before we leave.
Well, I don't know specifically, but I imagine that this time of now that summer's in full swing, that the farms could always use a hand, and possibly the shops as more travelers come through. I'd imagine you would have a better luck just asking around.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Shall we away?
Alright. So he's kind of looking at the summer gold, kind of sketching it in his book a little bit.
Yeah, it basically looks like a bit of gold that's shaped like a leaf with an overlay of green. It's kind of
Fascinating.
yeah, it's a bit like the chocolate almond leaves.
Yes.
Yeah, except that it's gold and the green is the chocolate bit. So.
John is just fascinated by this.
So I guess we'll look for people that need work then.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a good idea.
You guys still standing in the around in the bank, or are you heading outside now?
I would imagine that we're heading outside now.
As you get outside the bank, you notice children of various races watching you.
Hi.
They kind of like, some of them kind of hide behind others, but you know, a few of them just like kind of grin and wave at you. It's like, hey, are you really from another plane? What looks like a mouse kid asking.
Yeah, we're from the material plane. I know we must look very strange.
Wow, some of the kids are like murmuring excitingly, and the mouse kid says, "Well, do you need a warlock?"
Do we need a what?
A warlock. You know, so someone from a different plane that you share your powers with.
Look at this kid.
Like Rhiannon is like immediately creeped out by the little mouse child that's offering like a demonic pact.
I mean, I would love to learn powers from the material plane.
Oh, I get it. I can't do that.
The kid looks a bit disappointed. Oh, but you look powerful. Like they whisper, it's like, you beat that pig in the tavern. You must be powerful. Another one goads.
John just looks at Rhiannon. He's lost.
She just like starts like slowly backing away from the mouse child.
Roll perception, Rhiannon. Alright, as you're backing away from the mouse child, you catch out of the corner of your eye what looks like an elf wandering down another street.
Well, that's something new.
Meanwhile, the mouse child is right up in John's face and is basically trying to convince him, saying, "But you're really powerful. You must need somebody to serve as your warlock."
John, step away. Turn away from the dark side.
John's just like, well, I'm still practicing my own stuff. Maybe when I get stronger. Okay?
Okay.
Because John doesn't even barely know his own magics.
Well, do you need somebody to show you around town then?
Actually have her. She knows where you're going, right, Rhiannon?
Huh?
Rhiannon looks very distracted. She's clearly looking in another direction.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, there's look, there's an elf.
The elf seems to have vanished down another street.
Wait, there was an elf. I'm not crazy.
I just start immediately as soon as she says elf, I don't even look in that direction. I just walk that direction.
William, what are
Maybe
you?
it was Adler. I think I saw Adler. Holy shit! Let's go.
William, what do you do about all this?
Adler, sure, let's run after him. What direction did he go in?
So
You look
point.
definitely like Edler, though.
The mouse.
She didn't say it.
The
She
mouse.
just said it now.
Look, we're
the-
trying to escape the creepy rabbit kids or mouse kids,
Mouse.
alright?
Yeah, the mouse. The mouse kid. Yes, the mouse kid looks very. The mouse kid looks very disappointed, but as soon as you say, what was it, Denarian?
Daenerys is your Lord and Savior.
Denarius, your Lord and Savior. The kids basically start repeating this to one another. It's like, who's that?
Good, you
Who's
started a
that?
cult.
Bad thing.
Oh, well.
No.
You have started a cult. Good job.
Can I add that on my list of shit I've done? Is start a cult in the Feywild? I think I am.
But as long as you put accidentally next to it.
Okay, I will totally do that. I will put it in bold. Accidentally start cult of small mice children in the Feywild.
Alright, so the mice children, like the various children, they're not just mice. They're like mice and bunnies, and there's a fox in there, and a couple of frogs, and a small pig. But they were all they're all staying behind there now. So you guys run off into one direction. William, what are you doing?
I'm running in that direction very fast. Because I'm very fast.
And John is very slow. Tiny little legs.
I'm running in this direction and I'm screaming, Adler! Adler! Oh, where are you, Adler?
Adler, too. No. Just. Hang on, do I have what I. God damn it. What I. Damn it. I'll turn around. Like, oh god.
Turn around every now and then you go.
Turns around, what does he see come running around the corner?
He sees a drunken monk just running flat out at him. This is the first human you've probably seen in a long while. And they're screaming, Adler!
Adler, you have shrunken!
What good things has he done?
Not much, as far as I know.
Following close at this odd man's heels is a woman, and puffing behind is a halfling, wearing interesting robes and carrying books.
Wow, I didn't think I would see any one from, I assume, the material plane.
You look off. No, you. So what do you look like? What does he look like? What?
Yes, describe for the rest of the class, please.
Damn it. He has brown, long hair, which is completely different than Adler's, may I just say. He has a very fancy looking black robe, and he holding a staff on him, and he definitely looks like the type. Right. And he has a raven on his shoulder.
Caw! Caw!
Wow, a raven.
So you guys are now standing pretty much in a square between a bunch of buildings. The bank is not far off, but it's down another street. And off to one side is an open-air market where people are buying and selling vegetables and whatnot.
Wow, this place is fascinating. How long have... Oh, by the way, John.
The little halfling is giving you his name.
Hi, name's Viren. Nice to meet you, I think.
I'm sorry. We thought that you were somebody else, but I am Rhiannon, and I'm sorry if we scared you, or we thought you were our friend that disappeared.
Am I mistaken that you're from the material plane, right?
Yes, we just got here.
Well,
Oh, well. I feel... Hang on. Wow, I haven't seen anyone from the material plane in a very long time.
How long have you been here?
Let's say... 30 years.
30.
Yeah, not that long.
30's long.
Well,
This
humans,
could-
maybe.
Yeah, for me.
that was a really long time.
How did you get here?
A portal mishap. I was trying to get to Baldur's Gate, but the person I paid for a portal there must have failed, and here apparently.
And you've been stuck here this entire time? This is not good for us, John.
By the way, how did
No.
you get here?
A portal.
A portal mishap.
Actually, yes, quite actually accurate.
Raja kind of, who's joined you now, come up to your sides instead of, far away, adds in, it was that or stay in a crumbling castle.
A crumbling castle?
She nods.
Huh, sounds fascinating.
Sunday possibly is disturbed by all this. It's hard to tell what the actual expression is on his face.
Well, what do you plan to be... What's your plan now, I wonder?
Well, hoping to make a little bit of coin here. Then we've got passage on a ship to a larger city here in a few days. Maybe if we're able to get out, we could aid you as well, since we're all outsiders here.
That actually sounds like a great idea. I've really been missing the material plane, to be honest.
Material plane is very interesting, I guess is the best way of putting it. Oh, this place is very interesting too.
Very fascinating.
Just kind of watching everything around him right now, looking at all the goat people, all the fox and mice and everybody.
Yeah, you see various stalls at the market nearby, mostly run by frogs, with various people, including a few pigs that are probably female, since unlike their male counterparts, they seem to have more clothing on. instead of being bare-chested and whatnot, shopping at the various outdoor markets.
So, observing just the time that we've been in the city, can I determine some sort of a class system depending on what type of animal they are?
Well, there doesn't seem to be any enforced class system. However, you've noticed that the majority of, from what you've been passing by, the majority of merchants and merchant-related people are most likely frogs. Some of the more heavy lifting and possibly pirates and whatnot appear to be pigs. It's hard to tell what exactly the foxes do. Possibly bardic type work. It's hard to tell. The mice and the rabbits seem to be the primary agricultural types. Let's see, what was the other one? Well, the goats clearly are the town guards, but you don't know who or what is the ruling class in this town. You haven't met the mayor or anything like that. So it doesn't look like anybody's discriminated against based on their race, but it does look like people tend to stay in specific jobs based on their race.
Got it. Well, Varen, do you know any place to get any good coin?
Do I?
Not in this town. You've never been here before. You kind of just wandered in once the passes opened up with the advent of summer.
Not really. I'm new to this town.
I guess the only place we know of is the tavern needs the roof fixed, or we go to the market and check that out.
Up to you guys. All up to you. Just tell me what you want to do, and I shall do it.
I guess at this point it's just best to go to the roof thing, seeing we know what it is, and then I guess enjoy the festival.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright.
Yeah. Now that you understand Sylvan, you can actually see that there are signs posted up saying that the festival is at X amount date, which, while listening and overhearing people at random, walking by, you ascertain that the festival is in 2 days. So that gives you a bit of idea of the date system here in the Feywild, or at least in Eladrin, which doesn't seem to correspond to Faerun.
Do we see what the name of the festival is? Is it just the summer festival?
Yeah, it's just basically referred to as the welcome the summer welcome festival. It's the festival that's put on. That's every time summer comes around again, this festival is celebrated after the first harvest, basically. So not immediately when summer comes up, but the first time that they can actually harvest something again once summer is upon them. Yeah.
So to the roof?
Alright.
To the roof.
You kind of just open it up and just writing things down as we walk in that general direction.
Let's see here. There it is. Alrighty. And now you have Viren. Viren Windstar with a raven, or was it a crow on the shoulder?
Raven.
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 So he's now joined you.
I guess we walk up to the bar and be like, "Hi, you need your roof fixed. We're here to help."
Ah, excellent, the bartender exclaims. Well, hope you're not afraid of heights.
Well, you know.
I think we'll be fine.
Okay. So, they, what were you saying?
My whole roll 20 just screwed for a second. Let me restart it. No, but keep going.
Alright, so, the bartender, after getting one of the, probably the old mouse, to watch the bar for a minute, takes you guys outside, and points up at the roof where you can indeed see that there's various shingles that have come down. He says, well, I'm going to need some of that fixed. So we're going to need some bark from trees to hang as roof shingles. To keep the rains from getting in.
Would mending work here?
That's what I was thinking.
Well, mending won't actually work in this case because the object that you're trying to mend is actually missing. It's not like it's a crack in a wall. It's a missing tile from a roof.
Okay, so I mean, if we...
It's like the difference between, let's say, you know, you can fix a sword if it's got a chink in it, but you can't fix it if part of the sword is actually missing. That sort of stuff.
Yeah, you can't make something out of nothing.
Exactly.
Is this roof is made out of wood? Or am I wrong?
Yes.
Can I find an appropriate sized piece of wood and just carve the right size for
Yeah.
it?
Yes, that's actually what the bunny man is suggesting.
Yeah. I'll try doing that. Seeing I have wood carver's tools, this should be an easy job.
Mhm.
Do we have wood or do we need to go look for it?
You can just say you can take some time to look for wood, or you can accompany the guy to purchase wood. Kind of depends on what you want to do.
I mean, let's be cheap. Question mark.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I'm okay with saving money.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we'll go to the nearest place we can find some wood.
Alright. There are some woods, not nearby, nearby. Takes you about an hour to get there after you basically been given a path. But there's a lot of easy to follow pathways of white stone. And then now you can actually read the road signs that basically says, to Anders, to this and such, to this and such farm, that sort of thing. And so it's easy enough to find the closest woods.
To the woods.
Going into the woods.
I love how the mouse, the old mouse is just behind the tavern now.
Do we make survival checks to see if we can find some wood?
Sure.
Survival checks, I'm good at that.
Yeah, William isn't at all. Oh, that's one.
How? How?
You're just lucky.
Yeah. John is
Right.
Mr. Luck.
John, why?
Except for the time when, he wasn't lucky.
He's not lucky at cards.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, he was nearly lucky with cards. I mean, he did get he was the one that.
Last round.
Yeah.
I was the luckiest of all of us. I will put that out there.
Yeah. Because basically, your job would have been to see to it that Thorn got a Joker. And of course, she might restructure the card game for next time. She's got some ideas.
Alright.
Next time, we actually yeah. People who are watching, there isn't much visually to see in this game, but there's lots to hear. People chatting.
Chit chat. Taking a bath.
I guess, seeing we found our wood, we're gonna head back to the city unless there's something we encounter or anything. But
No, unfortunately for you, if you want encounters, this general area is very safe at the moment. So there is nothing more than various forest critters that are not the typical bunnies and foxes, because apparently bunnies and foxes here are people. So instead, you kind of see some fairy or Feywild equivalent of what bunnies and foxes would have been in your world, that don't look like bunnies and foxes. But neither of which threaten you, or they're just kind of scared of you and run off, sort of creatures.
when we're back to the tavern, I guess I'll carve the right amount of wood out of the wood we got to fix the roof.
Mhm.
What kind of attribute do I add to my wood carver's tools? Dex, strength, constitution, intelligence, wisdom?
I'm trying to think. I think that is just a standard roll, isn't it?
It is asking me for a modifier.
Oh, Dex then.
You have guidance.
Alright.
Yeah, Dex would be the best thing to use in that situation.
$15. Not bad.
Not bad at all. So, after a few hours, you've suddenly noticed that, unlike the last land you were in, this place isn't in a domain of day or anything like that. As the sky begins to turn a bit dark and twilight is now upon you, more people kind of stagger into the inn at this point and just kind of take their tables again.
I want to wander up to the fox, I guess, and ask him what the festival is all about.
Oh, sorry, I was changing out tokens that were in here. This couple has now left. Let's see, there's that there. So, are you just going to talk to the bartender, or are you trying to talk to somebody else entirely?
I was trying to talk to a fox, but I'll talk to the mouse lady instead, I guess.
Alright.
And ask what she can tell us about the festival, what it's about.
She kind of looks up from her table and blinks a bit at you because she hasn't seen beings like yourselves before. But then, once you start talking to her and Sylvan and asking about the festival, she says, "Oh, you're new in these parts. Well, since you're new here, you might not have realized that up until recently, winter had been ruling these lands. And it had been so cold, and it was so hard to grow anything. So the festival is to celebrate the fact that we no longer have winter, it's now summer, and the growth has begun again. And this is our first harvest."
Goat.
So, what are you asking? Oh, the rest of you can, roll perception checks.
Alright. John just disappeared, but I'm not gonna bother myself with that. You know what? If I don't see anything, I'm gonna chat with Viren, because I don't know him yet.
don't think Vera noticed anything.
He's too busy talking to each
Yeah, Rhiannon, as you look around, you kind of notice that, wait a second, John never followed you back into the tavern. Did he even follow you out of the woods?
We lost another one.
Wait, what?
John's
So
gone.
they probably said something like, God damn it.
Did anybody see him come out from the woods with us? Where did he go?
Huh. We'll have to go back to the woods. How late is it?
It's getting towards night and more people are coming into the tavern.
I don't want to sleep outside. Let's go get them quick.
Okay. We go back to the woods.
You guys sound like you'd lose a lot of friends.
Yeah,
But-
and they're not the brightest of individuals either. They take random food from strangers. They just randomly wander off. I love them to death, but damn, man.
God, I kind of feel sorry for you. Having to deal with that all the time.
William, I'll buy you a beer later. Let's go find John.
That sounds like a deal.
Well, I guess I might as well help with you with that.
Thank you very much.
On the way to the forest, I'm gonna chat up Vern to get to know him a bit better.
I'm also gonna have my raven fly to help look.
Once we're in the forest, I'm just gonna zoom around the forest as fast as I can,
Zoom!
screaming, "John, you you little twerp! Where the hell are you hiding at?"
Roll perception checks!
Can I also have the blink dog, like while Viren's ravens like searching the skies? Can the blink dog search ahead on foot?
There
Sure.
you are, you little rascal. I rolled a 20. I assume I find something that leads me to John. Hopefully.
Does my raven also get a perception check?
Tell me I do. I would assume he gets a perception check.
Alright, so the blink dog, sorry, actually, no, William. Sorry, William's got a 20. William, as you walked, as you wandered through the woods yelling, John, John, you suddenly see a strange person standing up against a tree. Clearly not your missing companion. This one has an extremely strange mask on his face that makes him look like a skeleton at first glance.
I'm gonna walk over to him. Hey, have you seen like this small person who looks very weird and acts kind of weird? I know that's the best way to describe him. If you've seen him, you probably know. He's not like an animal. He looks like a tiny version of me, kind of.
He appears to have yellow-green hair and kind of green-yellow skin, from what you can see of him.
He's also not blue. He's like a pinkish color.
Yeah, you're blue, and he's kind of this green-yellow color. That you're talking, this guy that you're talking to.
I like your color.
I like
Did you-
your hue as well.
Have you also been drinking these weird concoctions they serve here? Because I didn't used to be blue.
This is my natural pigmentation.
Oh. Now, about that small person again, have you seen him?
I have not seen your shorter, not as blue as you, friend.
Okay. Nice to meet you. My name is William, and you are?
Gamil Moon Touched is the name that I go by. And he's, I guess, dressed basically just like the token.
I don't see a token, so I don't
Sorry,
know.
I'll bring the token out. My bad. I was just
No
double checking
problem.
some stuff.
Alright. You look very eccentric.
Except he does have shoes. That's the only difference in the thing.
I do like your shoes, though.
I like yours as well.
So what are you doing in the middle of the forest?
Well, I was hanging out, I guess is the best way of putting it.
Alright. I'll call over the rest of them that I found someone. Are you like normal size or are you like the same size as John would be? What size category do you fit in?
I...
Out of character.
he's an elf, a legend elf. He's medium.
Alright. There's some eccentric kind of tall dude who isn't John here. I don't know. Nice to meet you, sir. Once again.
As William turns around, I make myself look like William, with masks of many faces.
I turn around, I see myself, and I look at myself and touch my beard like, I look pretty good.
I do.
Do you know where the other guy went with the weird name? He was just here.
No, I don't know where he went.
So are you like my twin from another plane or something?
Possibly.
Makes sense. Wait. I pull out a flask. I extend my hand and I'll watch what you do.
I kind of look at it.
You are not my twin. I don't trust you. Guys, help me! There's this weird guy who looks like me.
I want to go back to the material plane.
Ah,
Back
this is
back to Galmil. Oh, you're from the material plane, yes?
This
Yeah.
thing is more interesting by the second.
Last I thought we were there, and now I don't even know it's real anymore. I just want to go home.
Well, maybe I can
Roger.
give
Roger reaches over to Rihanna and just kind of pats her shoulder comfortably.
some assistance on your travels, maybe. For a
Yeah.
price.
We're broke.
The last time we made a deal, we lost a person.
Also
Well,
true.
The only deal I want is I honestly am very interested in seeing this material plane.
Hey, Viren? What's your response to Rihanna saying that?
You've made a deal and lost someone?
I didn't make a deal. Let me make that clear. I did
dude-
not make a deal.
The dude who we lost made the deal himself, so it's his own fault.
Yes.
Sunday says, yeah, poor Adler.
Hang on, backtrack a bit. Atlas?
Sunday
Yes.
nods and Roger nods. Yes, the other elf.
Paladin,
Yeah, the dude made like this.
with the last name Winstar.
Roger nods. Yes.
I think so.
He made a deal with someone called Thorn so that everybody could speak Sylvan by playing a card game.
Yeah, it was this
Baron's
weird
just
cat
face
lady.
palming. Great! Well, that's nice to know, I guess. God damn it, Adler, you idiot.
You knew him.
Um. Yes, I do.
Was he just like a friend, boyfriend, confidant?
That is a great list.
I don't know.
He's an acquaintance. And I'm going to obviously be deceiving because that's obviously a lie.
He
Tempting.
I'm clearly lying.
Clearly lying.
Oh,
I
I know what you are. You kind of look like him. Like you're like us two, and I point towards the mirror, the guy who's
yeah, I'm no longer
taking
looking like you.
TV. Oh, you're no longer looking.
Baron
Right,
does
yeah.
not look anything like Adler.
I mean,
Gail
You're
Mill
both elves.
is going to
really-
approach you, Vern. You are not the greatest liar in the world. I suggest you don't do that if you can't deceive even a drunkard.
Fair point on that. Just for the record.
I don't like admitting it, but they are right.
like, I like how he's got like the highest. Besides Rhiannon, he's got the highest. I got like one.
Meanwhile, Varen has a 3 in deception.
Well, as long as you guys aren't making deals of hags and woods, you're good.
Yeah,
Well, we did have a run-in with one of those recently.
yeah, they have some really good stew.
Yeah.
Yes, it is good stew, and they're not trying to kill you.
She tried to make a meal out of many of our party. Luckily, got out of there.
Roger kind of looks over at Rhiannon and nods and says, "Yes, all of our male party members fell under her sway."
Yes. If it can be a interesting encounter if you do not know your way around this place.
So you wanna go visit the material plane?
Yes. I honestly lived here my whole life and, well, seen all there is to see.
I mean, I, as the drunkard, don't see no reason why he can't come. But that just might be that I'm drunk, so
Drunkard's got a drunk.
yeah. I mean, if he's willing to buy me ale, I would be very persuaded. Would you, good sir?
Planning to go to the material plane anyway. Wouldn't be that much of a hassle.
And you would have someone who's been here all their life.
Yeah.
But we need to find John.
That's kind of true, though.
Well, this is also true. Would Gailmill have seen John?
Most likely. Probably Gamel said, "Hi!" I mean, sorry, John said, "Hi!" and wandered past Gamel at some point.
I get the sense that he is on a different direction. You'll probably see him again.
Sounds good enough.
Strangely lucky-looking one. Gummo does have a book, by the way. It seems it's like a black-covered book. It's just kind of resting on the side.
Great. We have the drunkards and the book club.
Interesting tome you have there, friend.
Yes, it has many interesting notes in it. Would you like to look?
Oh, yes. I would love to. I can show you mine if you show me yours. I regretted saying that as soon as I said it.
He just grins. He opens the book. And you see written in Sylvan.
Which
but it
now
makes
everybody
no
can read.
goddamn sense. Like there's numbers and letters to make words, but nothing makes sense in this book. But he seems to be able to read it just fine.
It's in code.
As the book describes it, this is script written in madness that only you, her madness, can comprehend.
Fascinating.
Hi.
She'll show her book, and it's basically all of John's notes that he took because she just copied it down, and then a couple of sketches. You see one of a blonde elf attacking a monster, and then a person drinking in the corner, and then you see a picture of a small halfling ripping off a pigman's arm, and a potato with a lamprey mouth.
I do like your artistic style.
Thank you.
Again, takes the hat off and gives a bit of a bow.
Rhiannon blushes. And just kind of cuddles her book, and then just like does a little awkward nod, and then scuffles off.
Yeah, middle notice this.
Book. Everybody but William has a book.
Out of character knowledge, he is a Pact of the Tome warlock.
That wasn't obvious.
Yeah.
I have a book. To be fair,
Oh, he does have a book.
I have a book on brewing.
Oh, that's right. Everybody has a book in this party.
I haven't read it yet because I've been too drunk to read.
That's kind of cool.
I guess we're gonna enjoy the festival then. Seeing,
So nobody's worried about John anymore, is what it comes down to.
I am worried about John. But
Rhiannon is very sad about John. If we were about to leave, I was about to type something. No, Rhiannon is very upset that she cannot find John.
It is now nighttime as you stand in the woods. You hear crickets. Oh yeah, and the people watching the stream are all very happy that everybody's a reader. They're calling you guys the book club now.
yeah,
Damn straight.
I'm gonna miss Adler so soon.
Yes, and out of character, John will be back at some point. Don't know when.
Yep, I will be right back, guys. I smell something, I think, burning in the kitchen.
Uh-oh. Fire! Fire! I just really wanted to play Gamma.
I understand
It's
the
funny.
feeling.
I was actually like really itching. I've been itching to play my fighter for a long time. I really, really miss her. And so I had a feeling that's what was happening. I was like, I want Phaedra.
Yeah, I want to try my new character out as well, but hey, Let's continue with John for a bit, William for a bit more.
This character started off as literally that voice. I was like, oh, what would he be? And I just had to make him. Yes, Jay. Eventually.
Okay, that's all good. I just needed to reduce the temperature underneath my pot.
I think, like, as we're kind of, like, just milling around and, Rhiannon's, like, with losing Adler earlier in the day, and then John is gone, she is going to, because we're out in the woods, right?
Yep, you guys are still in the woods as the night has fallen.
She's going to go over to a patch of dirt, and she is going to start drawing some symbols in the ground. And she is going to see if John will cross their paths again.
Okay. And if that's the case, you get the wheel results. Now you just have it falls into a wheel. Well, I guess wheel. Though that's pronounced weirdly.
Okay.
But, yeah. Whatever that means. In terms of casting.
Yeah.
Hi.
She'll communicate to the group. She'll just be like, I feel like his path will cross ours eventually, though we may not find him now, but I don't see that these two travelers that have joined us are bad in any way, shape, or form. And she kind of dusts herself off and stands up and holds out her hand to Galmeal. And
Yes, Galmeal.
And holds out a hand and says, "Are you coming with us?"
Of course, and he takes it and kind of give it a nice shake of the hand, just smiling the entire time.
Kind of freaky.
Yeah, he's an odd individual.
I think all your characters are.
Well, you know.
That's why we love them.
Yeah, that's so.
Evil has the odd duck characters. Quentin has the well, I guess his characters are all different. Rick has all the Windstar characters related. Tobias has the interesting. Well, yeah, I guess that works. Yeah. Well, still, I love Evil Fluffy's characters.
Yeah, and Kate has the smart ones.
Yes.
I don't know about that.
I mean, the ones that make good decisions. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
No, you know. You gotta have one of those at least in the group.
Yeah, or else your entire group dies to something. Of course, one of her characters was in a group that everybody ate a very poisonous substance, not realizing it, and if it hadn't been for Thorn, they'd all be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And it was,
Yeah.
but that's speaking. It was her idea to go to Thorn to talk to Thorn about something else, and Thorn revealed to them, "You guys are all poisoned."
Yeah, whenever we went in and the hag came in and offered food, like my spidey sense just kept tingling. I'm like, oh no.
Well, you didn't know she was a hag at the time.
I know, still. Meta.
I was thinking it. But then I was like, nah. it'll be
The
fine.
only reason why I let my spidey sense go with that is because Rhiannon's insight is so high.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. I would have totally eaten it.
Mm-hmm.
Can we take a 5? Is
Sure.
that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
5-minute break, guys. 5-minute break.
Pour water.
I'm right back, Lyra. You can just stay there sitting watching the outside. how's everyone else doing this evening? Welcome back, Rand.
I'm doing good.
Oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Good food. So who are we still waiting on?
Maybe William?
I'm here.
Kate, maybe?
Yeah, I think Kate's still on. Fly, you
Water, and I'm
fools.
ready to go. Fly!
Yeah,
I like having the chat up on my phone so I can see the chat.
yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, right, but you don't currently have an eccentric wizard in your party. The wizard
Nope,
wandered
just-
off.
Crazy motherfucker.
Yep.
Who does not know personal space very well.
They're gonna wake
Which
up
would
and
be
find
fun.
you standing there watching them from the foot of their beds.
Yes, because I'm an elf 4 hours. Good luck to non-elves.
Hello, Lyra. And Lyra is being very purry. My sweet cat is very soft. She likes being scratched.
Yes, that's why. Enough for one.
I take it you
Well,
do
at
that
least
a lot in other games?
My the one I DM, I have a character known as the Doctor who just will be 2 inches from your face really quickly. In the plague, like a plague doctor's mask.
Oh, that is fun.
They are an interesting character, and actually very helpful. They're very, very useful for the party, but very creepy.
Do they actually do healing?
They don't heal per se. They're actually a fighter in their class type, but they have a lot of knowledge and deal in secrets and stuff like that.
Scare the crap out of someone's warlock. Do you ever play Pavik with them?
No, they know about Havoc. I've told them about his adventures. Oh,
Yes, and he once had a friend called Tiny Titan who betrayed the party.
the Tiny Titan.
You got the paladin, well, vamps. Yeah, that was a fun battle with them because you guys got but since everybody who was there at that time was still there for the final session, which was great because you know how these games go, people just trade in.
I just like how like the very final fight against him, against Straw was like everyone was immune to his charm.
Yep, at that point because you guys figured you'd already seen what had happened, that they weren't going to get played again. Wait, personal space? Yes, personal space. What is this personal space you speak of? Yes, that's something that cats don't understand.
See.
You should play a cat.
I did think of a warlock
Backseat?
Kavat just named Garfield.
I got to be in lasagna.
Mm.
I do make
Yeah.
a good lasagna. Actually, that's one of those things of, once again, if everybody, like, instead of living around the world, all lived in the same area, that if you played a character named Garfield, I would have to make lasagna for the dinner session. That's basically how it would go. So that you can eat lasagna and play your character at the same time. Yeah, tonight's dinner is ham and cabbage. Hopefully it'll still be soup, since I like it as a soup rather than a stew. Some nice
Yeah,
liquid to
spy-
soak up with bread.
The Spire there is currently in Strahd on her one game. They're doing Curse of Strahd. I think they're on chapter 2. Still.
Yeah. I'm thinking of. Well, I'm currently reading what was it? Vampire of the Mists, the Ravenloft book. And I've been thinking about doing, even before I found that book. That was the only Ravenloft book in a used bookstore that I found. But even before that, I was thinking about doing a Curse of Strahd inspired game, set it there in that Barovia as described in the 5th edition one, except with the feel and the year type, basically, of whatever the original one would have been. Like, I don't have any of those old setting books, although I did want to see access to them before I even thought about it at the time, and I should have bought it from that used bookstore, but I didn't.
Renan is back.
Yay! But at some point, like the next time I run Curse of Strahd, it won't be Curse of Strahd, it'll be, like, Tales from Barovia or something like that, but with 5th edition with 6th edition rules. Hi, sweetie. Alright, welcome back. Everybody's back. We're all ready to go again?
Yep.
I think
Okay. So, are you returning all the way back to the town? The port of Andres? Andres.
Yes.
Alright. So, it's nighttime. Thankfully, once again, this area is actually fairly safe. So, you don't get accosted in the middle of the night by anything weird. Anything trying to eat you. You just startle the occasional deer and other thing in the other creature in the underbrush. As you make your way back to the town, you see lights are now lit. You could definitely smell cooking fires inside homes. You have things coming up from the chimney. You can smell roasts, mostly vegetables, but here and there the occasional more meaty smell. And you see how bustling the tavern is. Lots of people in there. More of those pirates. More people from around the town, all just kind of hanging out, picking up tables, having dinner, having conversation, and the bartender appears to be very busy.
I guess I'll keep an ear open to see if anybody's, because we're mainly trying to make some coin at this point. So I'll keep an ear out for anybody possibly talking about problems or needing something done, anything of interest.
Alright. Yeah, you're not really hearing too much about problems per se, mostly things like, could use an extra hand at the festival preparations, some more people that can lift and carry stuff, that sort of thing. Not unlike problems such as, someone's been attacked, someone's been murdered, that sort of problem that other people might think of. No, it's more like lots of mundane little problems here and there. People need things done. But nothing too life-threatening or anything like that. Mostly just, labor.
Well, nothing too exciting. Maybe we just need to volunteer at the festival. Maybe that's how we make some money.
Do you have rooms here or empty?
We helped him with the roof, so I would imagine that we have room.
You went. You were actually still working on building the tiles before you went back out again and looked for John. You hadn't
Oh, yeah, that's right.
done any work on the roof yet.
I'll finish that up, I guess.
Alright.
Because I think you rolled a 6 with the guidance. It ended up being a 16, and then I
15.
realized that John was. Oh yeah, that's right.
It was enough. So, what do you guys wish to do?
Galmil is actually sitting right next to Rhiannon. Just waiting.
Waiting. He is very creepy.
I mean, at this point, I would imagine that I would go to bed. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And what about the rest of you?
William will probably get drunk.
After finishing the roof job, yes?
Yeah, after finishing the roof.
Important order of events.
Yes.
Galmil will just be like, I'm with these ones, bartender.
The bartender looks at him, looks at the rest of you guys for confirmation.
Rhiannon will nod.
Then he nods his head in approval. But he seems to be wanting to keep an eye on you. Or at least one of his big ears.
How many rooms do you all have?
One. He gave you one room for the work.
Goody. I sleep over.
And this room over here would be it.
Which one where? Ah.
That's 4 beds.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all know where William is gonna sleep.
4 beds for 6 people.
Oh, William will probably end up in the tavern more than likely.
Well, 2 of them are elves, so...
Yes.
I think Rhiannon would probably curl up on the floor with the dog and snuggle.
Aww. Blink Doug licks your face.
Is there like rafters at all in this room?
I don't think so.
Like- He'll lay on the table.
You're a little big for that table, so you're kind of like half off of it. Your legs
His
are...
legs are kind of dangling off.
Your legs are dangling off one side, your head's dangling off the other, your arms are dangling off the other sides.
It's just like the trees.
Yeah, that is true. So the bartender looks down at William and says, "What can I get for you?"
What's the most festive drink you have?
Well, he thinks for a moment. I do have this, and he pulls out a sparkly red drink. But I'm not sure how well you can handle it.
Is that a challenge?
He nods. Yep, only the brave. I call it hunting season.
I already took down some of those measly big I'm pretty sure I can handle this as I take a big gulp of that red liquid.
Constitution check.
Yeah!
Oh God, you're poisoned. Oh. The bartender
God.
winces as you take damage, and William hasn't even healed from the last time.
Yeah, I should have taken a short rest, but I've been like, I'll be fine. Please don't kill me. Alright, I'm fine.
Oof.
If that was mag damage, I would have been dead. Just FYI. Maybe I should be less reckless. Then again, I'm a drunkard, so maybe.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
The bartender's actually kind of laughing at you.
The drunk is doing terribly with alcohol.
That's how the pigs.
Oh.
The pigs are laughing. Kind of reminds you. It's kind of reminiscent of the bugbears laughing at you in that one tavern. The ones that eventually died badly.
I'll turn around and say the last guys who laughed at me like that are dead now.
What? You killed him?
I'll just blatantly look in his eyes. No answer to that question.
The pig man kind of stares back at you.
Is this the same guy as before?
No, that's a different one.
Oh. I was gonna say, how's your arm? But that's not relevant anymore.
No, it is not.
Anyway, how much for one of these bottles?
The bartender looks at you. Well, I'm not selling you my special brew. I don't have enough to sell a full bottle to you, and still keep the customers happy.
That's about fair. Alright, I'm gonna sleep now, as my face hits the bar.
So it looks like two people are sleeping on the floor without cause because William's not sleeping in a bed. Rhiannon's sleeping on the floor. Galton sleeping in there. Varen is just sitting somewhere, and two beds are completely empty.
We're smart, not logical.
So Rhiannon, when you finally do wake up, you actually see this.
I wanted to say one thing, because I wake up before her.
Of course you would. So would Varen.
I'm just standing, leaning over her.
So Rhiannon.
That, you really shouldn't do that. As I'm still just sitting there watching.
He does not respond.
So Rhiannon, eventually when you wake up, you see a masked figure looming over you.
Good morning.
I feel like her reaction would be to kick him in the face.
That seems about right.
Okay, roll an attack.
This is fair.
I don't even think I have unarmed attack on here.
Just roll a
It'd be
strength
just a
check.
strength check. That hits. I take 2
And-
points of damage.
Yeah. There's
What,
wall of
1D
him and yeah, it's a
1d4?
1d4.
Oh, I thought that was only monks. Huh, I take 3.
See, monks start off with just a standard under attack and then it goes up. That's how it works. Oh, and monks get to add their strength bonus to yeah.
Strength
monks,
or deck.
Yeah, monks can roll on dex and add their strength to their attack, or dex to their attack.
I think technically speaking, unarmed strike for people who aren't proficient is just a 1 plus their strength modifier.
Then it would just be 2.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, "Don't do that to me." It's been a very, very long couple of days, and she'll. I'm sorry.
Just the mask and goes, I was just watching you sleep, that was all. And just walks away.
cereal plane.
That's the right reaction.
The blink dog just licks your face. William, meanwhile, you wake up in the barn. Sleep on the hay.
Oh, that's nice. Compared to last time.
Yes, compared to the last time you woke up in a dung pile.
By the way, I walk in disguised as I'll roll 1d4.
You disguise as Virinius, so not gonna.
Yeah, you're not
Nope,
gonna
it's
like
Rhiannon.
it.
It's just a Rhiannon at the end of the bar. Both ends of the bar.
Yes! The blink dog whimpers and sits at Rhiannon's feet. The real Rhiannon. The bartender has been carefully cleaning the bar and looks rather awake and gazes at you guys. This is an oddity. Did you enjoy your stay?
The room was lovely.
Yes, it was.
Why does there appear to be two of you?
Because it's the Feywild, I don't know.
Because it's the Feywild.
Bartender lets out a long sigh at that one.
I don't know anymore.
Gamma just loses the disguise, just is busting out laughing at this moment.
The group out there and watching, the dung pile is William challenged
Creepy,
Shoot
man.
Bugbear to a drinking contest.
But I kind of
He
like
lost,
you, but
But he woke up,
me
found
out.
himself in a dung pile.
I like you as well. You are very interesting. You are all very interesting.
At this point, Rhiannon will ask the bartender for a drink.
And what can I get you?
Something strong.
Well, some of the things strong we offer appear to be poisonous to your kind. So, he kind of pours out some purple liquid. How about some of this? Your companions seem to deal with that okay?
She'll put a coin down and slide it over and just kick it back. And
The guy responds by giving her, let's see, you gave him 1 gold coin, gives you back 8 silver and 5 copper, all leaf shaped.
Do you have I have a question for you, Grizz? Since Galma has lived here, would he be more attuned to this type of drink?
Yeah, because I'm only listing the reactions of humans. I didn't say the reactions of elves or Eladrins, for that matter.
I don't have what she's having. I
No,
kind of put
it's-
down the.
So roll your constitution checks for drinking to see if you get drunk.
I am drunk.
Well, and it pretty much kind of wakes you up, or at least makes you forget about the guy over there that, now looks like you. Meanwhile, Galamil, your 1 drink has brought you to a state that you think you are a cloud and are going to fly away.
We.
And you get 8 silver summer coins and 5 copper summer coins in return.
This be interesting when I go to the material plane because I have no money in this prime material. I am broke. Otherwise,
Yeah, maybe your new friends will help you out. So, Vern, what do you do?
Just sitting at bar, just watching this whole escapade happen. It's like, these guys are the people I'm going to probably on. This is gonna be interesting.
Or
Say
Viren.
I try to use this guy's self to look like Varen, but I end up looking like a mixture of Varen and the rabbit bartender.
The bartender shakes his head, looking at you.
I'm a person.
You did not do well with that drink. He's just...
Yeah, I don't shake it off. Isn't that right? And he turns to his right and just starts talking to someone that's not there. Which he's done before when not drunk. Yes, they are interesting.
Have you seen a man like us around here? He's about this tall, and he's kind of blue. Have you seen him?
Yes.
That one, he is currently in the stable. He passed out last night.
Don't worry. I will go get your compatriot.
So, William, what do you do when you first come back to yourself?
I wake up in this nice bed of hay, and I see this weird dude just dashing around. And I'll guess I'll get out, fully rested and at full HP.
Yeah, no more
I've-
lingering effects of poison.
Found you.
Yes, you did. Congratulations.
Not creepy whatsoever.
And I clap my hands. Goodbye now. And I start walking.
He starts following me back, but not in the exact pattern.
A new friend is weird. Then again, we are as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're over there. Let me make my way to you, my friend.
Wow.
So
You
what's the
guys
plan
are...
for the day?
Hmm. And what do you think? In terms of his right? Yes, I agree.
He appears to be talking to nothing, to thin air.
Okay. So guess we go check out the festival and how it's setting up, try to make some money.
Ah, yes, money is always a good thing.
Or do you guys want to go to the market and try to buy stuff?
Festival seems okay for now.
Darren?
Yeah. Let's go to the festival.
We will
Help
head
out.
to the festival. It's the day before then, I would imagine, yes?
Yep, that's what you kind of gleaned from overhearing people. That the festival is now tomorrow.
We make way to the festival grounds.
It appears that while the festival takes place a lot throughout the town. Major parts of it are at the docks and at that open air market that you were at earlier.
How about the market? That way we can see if there's anything cool. If we want to buy it, we'll be in the same spot.
Yes, that seems good. I love the fresh air. Much better than the building.
We will head to the market.
Alright, so you head back into the market area, and you see people starting to set up their various stalls. Mostly frogs. A few of the others that you've seen around, but frogs seem to be in the majority of the, these sorts, the marketeers, the sellers, and whatnot. So, what would you like to do?
Look for anybody who's. Are there any? Do we see people putting things up? Can we look for people who need help setting up?
Yeah, there's a few frogs around, like, setting up the wares, but there's others, and a few foxes kind of like carrying stuff to set up, like a little platform off to one side. Somebody is draping garland around one of the benches, and other stands that are being put up. You overhear the conversation between two mice girls talking about a potential pie eating contest that's going to take place, and that they're working on baking more pies for this.
Rhiannon beelines to that conversation.
The two mice girls gaze up at you, blinking their eyes.
I follow.
Wow, you must be the material plane people that we've been hearing about.
Yes, they are.
Yes, we are.
Do not have a pleasant reaction when they look up at the guy with the skull mask, though. They seem to be shivering a bit, looking at him.
Hello.
Do you do you need some help with the pies? I'm actually quite a decent cook. I've done some fairly decent stews, and I
Can you bake?
like a little bit about baking. Yes, I can totally bake.
Well, we could always use another set of hands at the bakery.
I would love to help.
Someone as tall as you might be good at kneading, perhaps. She suggests.
Would you also need more assistance from me as well?
They kind of look like that would not be a good thing. That they would be scared to be working around you. You kind of creeped them out.
I can tell you that looks can be deceiving, though I can tell you this individual has not harmed us, and he could be helpful, but... Actually, I don't know if I would say that. Would I be... Can I do an insight check on...
Sure.
I'll certainly try.
I can try. I'm guessing your deception is super fucking high.
It is a +6. And he does not like to reveal much about himself.
So yeah, and that would go. He would be quite helpful, I would imagine. Just it can be a little weird, but don't be. I don't. She doesn't seem like totally convinced whenever she says it.
They kind of like make this shivering sound, but they nod slowly. It's like, well, we probably could use all the hands we can get at the bakery.
Do not worry. I will do whatever it is you ask of me, as I am. He kind of takes the hat off and gives a bit of a gentleman.
Do I keep hearing the word hat or head?
Hat. You
Hat.
got like a top hat on.
Okay, because
That would be a different picture if it was a head.
exactly,
head off.
which is why I'm. Well, it is shaped. It is in a skull mask, so there's always the possibility of that. Still, This is what comes to mind when I hear that.
I'm the Mad Hatter. It's fine.
Yes. So,
Oh god, I literally am.
yes. So you guys are taking a day job working at the bakery. What about Viren and William?
I'm just chatting with the big peeps.
With the what peeps?
The big people.
Yeah, I can't. I couldn't hear. I can't hear you at all.
Pig.
Pig. Okay, thank you.
Big people.
All right, cool. Yeah, sorry, couldn't hear you very well. Yeah, a lot of the pigs are working on loading and unloading things from one of the ships.
You know what? I'm gonna go check out the ship.
All right,
Yeah, I'll go check out the ship as well. Why not?
and Sunday's going to be following you since that seems like the best place for him. So the three of you make it down to the dock area. There's actually several ships over there, but the one you're drawn to has various pig people, a couple of foxes, and a very familiar-looking rat watching them. The rat kind of looks up and nods towards. Well, I imagine nodding towards Sunday and William, probably because he doesn't know Varen. And the pigs, one of the pigs kind of stops and watches you. It's like, these are the new hires, huh? Joining our crew, replacing those who decide to stay back here since it's been years since we've been able to get back to port.
Yeah.
He kind of like pulls up on his belt, and you can see that there's some sort of teeth, very sharp-looking teeth. Uses decorations on that belt to hold it in place, and on his shoulder is some kind of fur from something. You're blue. That makes you look like you're winter aligned.
I'm not usually blue. I just drank something that made me blue.
Doing something that made you blue. That's I like
Yes.
that story.
I mean, it's just as likely as one of the winter people getting into the city not being noticed while they're blue.
Guess during winter time that happened a lot.
Yeah, but I'm like walking out here. If the guards would have probably kicked my ass by now.
Maybe. But we haven't been here in a while. Because the port was frozen over during the last winter. What does Viren say to all this?
Oh, I'm just like, wait, hang on. New hire? I'm sorry, I'm kind of new in this group. What?
Yeah,
Is that new hire?
In 2 days, you guys are all heading out with us.
Right.
That is awesome, Fluffy. He looks good in spring colors. So the pig kind of like readjusts his belt again and says, "I gotta get back to work. Soon you'll be having to do stuff like this. Probably washing the decks." Viren, William, anything?
I mean, I'm just gonna scout out the chip. That's what I'm doing here. I mean, I want to bet so another person was gonna take over my cleaning duty if I'm not mistaken.
You have to take it up with them in the cap.
Where is she?
She's
It
around
would be
somewhere,
nice.
but she's not on the ship right now.
It would be nice. Yeah. Any idea where she?
If you're talking, you get cut off.
Any idea where she could be?
She could be anywhere for right now. I don't keep track of her. This is her ship. All she has to do is to come up and say it's time to leave.
Ugh. You know who might know where the captain is?
The pig man shrugs. Why do you need to talk to her so badly?
Well, never met her before. I'd like to know the person I'll be, yes, working under.
Well, I'm sure she'll be at the festival tomorrow. Why don't you talk to her then?
Ugh.
The pies being made, unfortunately, are not meat pies. It's for a pie eating contest. It's primarily like fruit pies, like cherry and apple and whatnot.
Then I am making a flake crust. Change that to a fruit pie.
Yum. Best kind of pie. So yeah, the captain has wandered off somewhere. The crew doesn't exactly know where she is at the moment, but she's saying that she'll probably be around tomorrow at some point during the festival. Meanwhile, two of your crew is helping out making pies, and the other ones are Baron and William and Sunday are all getting acquainted with the ship. Raja is actually helping with some of the construction things going on since she has experience with that sort of thing. Like if you're looking up throughout the day pie making people, you can see Raja walking by with bits of wood and other garland hanging things. Now, was there somebody besides John who was interested in finding a bookstore?
Was it John
What?
Lennon?
You're cutting out, Grizz.
Alright. Was any one of you besides John interested in finding a bookstore?
Oh no, it was me. Yeah.
Alright. So,
Yeah.
are you going to attempt to get there today, or are you waiting on that one?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of money, but I was mainly what thought we were doing was we were going to make some coins so then we can go shopping
Alright.
before we headed out. So I'm going to say that she's probably going to work to make some more money.
Okay.
Yes, Gary knows we've had that.
Hi there.
It's always useful.
So, come on. Roll a 1d6.
Wolf
Me?
Yes. Well, and Gamil too. So we're going to see how much money you guys get paid for the day. For helping out with the for working with the pies.
Fuck.
Alright. Rhiannon, since you have proficiency in making this, you actually end up with 3 gold.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Galamel, you only get 2 gold for your day's work.
This is fine.
So now that the mice are quite happy with the resulting pies and are letting them cool, and says, "I think we've got enough for the contest tomorrow."
I look forward to seeing the results of this fruits of our labor.
They still look kind of disturbed at Galamel.
I mean, I don't have the mask anymore. I just kind of like made myself look really, really good looking.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't just the mask that disturbs them.
He doesn't realize that.
Anyway,
How much is it to get into the contest tomorrow? Because it might be fun.
oh, they aren't actually looking at for money to. Well, they. It's kind of like this is what the bakery's donating to the contest, and there's like other people that donate, to the festival itself, in terms of money to enter in. But it's a great way to build friendships and celebrate and all that. So there's really no price to enter the contest itself. Just to donation boost for the contest, not for the contest, for the festival, at the festival itself. So it's starting towards evening. Sky is starting to darken somewhat, getting in towards twilight.
Yeah.
Vern and William, what have you guys been doing this day, other than touring the ship? Since that would have only taken like an hour, maybe.
Let's see, what else did William do except for drinking and scouting out the ship? You know what? I have been carving some statues of all the different cute creatures I have been seeing in town. Does that sound like a good idea?
It's up to you.
That sounds like a good idea. He's gonna carve some nice statues of some rabbit people and some frog people that he can sell when he gets back to the material plane, so he can buy more booze.
There you go.
At least it's
Now
a goal.
Like a talented drunker.
But they don't look very good.
You know, I'm practicing. It's my first time doing these word creatures, so it's not always gonna be as good.
Weird people. Yes. Weird happy people in a happy town.
Vern's probably just aimlessly wandering around, just getting familiar with the festival layout.
And you're occasionally seeing your companions in the bakery baking during the day.
Yep.
And occasionally seeing that weird lizard lady that you believe is one of your companions. You probably would have believed that's one of your companions carrying around heavy stuff. And you left William behind wherever he's sitting, carving things and drinking. Probably the tavern again.
Yeah, probably, most likely. Or like some nice place by the waterside where you can look at the ocean and have a nice glass of beer next to him.
Maybe some nice flaky fish and all fried up.
Yeah, just taking it in for a day. No hassle with the book club, just relaxing the good old way.
Yeah. You guys are now officially the book club, by the way.
Yeah.
Yay!
And William is the plucky outsider. Actually, no, he's not plucky. Sorry, the depressing outsider. Because he's always drinking.
Yeah.
That's more correct.
I just hear the word outsider and think plucky, and then it's like, no, wait a minute, this is William. He's not plucky. Not in the least. He is William.
So, shall we retire for the evening?
Yes, as long as you don't watch me sleep.
You should probably take a bed this time. We had 2 hours extra. Because William passes out here. I don't require a bed, and neither does Farron. He's going to sleep underneath this bed.
I'll
Good
Willem
night.
feel like he could use the bed for once, and he's gonna sleep on top of the bed he's sleeping under.
Doesn't
There
realize
you go.
Skeleton is into there, huh?
just
Look.
crawls underneath, looking at Rhiannon. Good night.
Even if he does, he's too drunk to care.
Good night.
4 hours later, he just gets up and just stands in the middle of the room talking to somebody.
Roll perception checks, everybody but Galmil.
Great. Now I have to throw something at him if I wake up. Does it wake me up?
He's not being loud.
Rhiannon, you get woken up, unfortunately.
Yes, I know. But they are interesting. I can. Yes.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry to have awakened you. I am merely having a conversation.
With?
Oh, yeah, he refers to himself as the Watcher.
The Watcher.
Yes.
That sounds comforting.
But I know who that was. Religion?
That sounds that sounds acceptable.
Yeah, I'd say.
Nope.
As far as you can tell, he's merely talking insanely to himself. Sorry, talking to himself because he's insane.
Wait, we're... Hold on. Never mind. I thought I could do something else. I was wrong. Oh, Gamil.
Yes.
Just keep it down a bit, and she'll roll over and go back to sleep.
He pulls the blanket up over. You sleep tight now. And just walks back into the middle of the room.
He's kind of
There's no
scary.
place like home. There's no place like home.
Well, maybe you could talk to a witch and find yourself a pair of ruby slippers to get you there. I mean, in theory, the land and the Wizard of Oz is Oz is part of the Feywild, depending. It's like a fairy. It's a fairyland, depending on what theory you subscribe to.
Maybe.
I just love how Varen watches this whole interaction.
Like, I don't know if I should stop this or just let it keep going.
Poor Rihanna, and she's getting more and more petrified.
I love this character who does not know how creepy he is.
He is very creepy. Very, very creepy.
That's all he does for night. Or the remaining 4 hours.
So is Viren just watching all this, not doing anything else, or what?
Oh, I probably just, he's going in a trance, really. Just sitting against the wall, going in and trying to ignore it.
Don't worry. Eventually I won't need to sleep at all.
Great. Soon we won't even get 4 hours of rest.
Well, at least the majority of you managed to sleep the entire time. Except for poor Rhiannon, who got distracted. And I think very shortly is a good time to to stop for this week, since that would give us not having to interrupt the festival next time.
Yes, indeed.
Alright, I'm gonna go then. Good night to everyone.
Good night,
Good night.
or good night, Quentin. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
The names have converged.
And I hope you
Coffee?
enjoy the new section of the
Yes.
Feywilds.